Go ahead, take a seat. Join us for Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer, where the conversations are real, the stories run deep, and absolutely nothing is off limits. From small town life and big time headlines to sports, politics, faith, family, and the everyday chaos of modern living, we talk about it all. No polished corporate nonsense, no fake outrage for clicks, just honest conversation served up with a little humor, a little wisdom, and the kind of storytelling that feels like late evenings from the back porch. Sometimes thoughtful, sometimes hilarious, sometimes completely off the rails, but always real. Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer is brought to you in part by Glenn Mechanical, when you want the job done right the very first time. Jason Hardy State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Jason Hardy and State Farm are there. Country Village Sporting Goods. Everything you need to get to the woods, the water, or the camp. Cook's Body Shop. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's. Davis Farms Country Market with true farm-to-table fresh selections. Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. Put a solid future above your head. Harrison's Financial Management. Your future, our commitment. Murphy Arts District. For the latest info, go to eldomad.com. Larry's Pizza. Home of the Double Pizza Parade. The Rushing Law Firm. Get someone in your corner who fights for you. The Michael Fife Campaign for Sheriff of Union County. Mystic Creek Golf Club, voted the #1 course in Arkansas. Smackover Motors, 50 years of keys, road trips, and memories at Smackover Motors. Timberlane Meat Market, eat local, eat often. Southern Sass Image and Design, the official photographers for South Arkansas Now and southarkansasnow.com. And by ProMed Ambulance, world-class care and hometown values. Recorded live at the southarkansasnow.com studios in beautiful, historic downtown El Dorado, Arkansas. Kick your shoes off, grab a seat, and welcome to the Big Couch. Your host, Troy Boomer Barrios and B.A. Sandy Sanford.
Hey, thank you, Johnny Dean, and welcome to another edition of Off the Back Porch. Boomer, would you believe this?
What?
Episode 72.
Let me ask you something. Have we been doing it for a year?
Over a year.
72, that's a year plus
20 weeks.
That's one a week.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, how is Johnny Dean?
He's doing great. I talked to him recently.
You know, he doesn't ever call me anymore.
Oh, yeah, well, you finally started getting his name right, and now he doesn't feel like he has to correct you.
Do you call him?
I don't have his number. I'm not allowed. I can't call the talent.
Usually a two-way street.
And welcome back for his second visit now. You're getting there. See, after so many visits, then we can sometimes, so we say Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer and sometimes Jax.
Oh,
because Jax has been a guest 6 times.
Okay.
And then David Lee has been a guest 5 times.
Gosh.
And Ricky Roberts has been a guest 3 times.
Is it that if you're a guest more often, does that mean you're in trouble more? You need to explain
Probably
more?
So,
okay,
yeah. that or you were the only one available. Everybody else was like, my reputation hadn't recovered yet.
No, I think I'm going to be busy on that day.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got Mike Ross coming in a couple of weeks, and
that's great.
Yeah, he's going to be
We'll do it on his time schedule.
But we do have to do it on his time schedule.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And but anyway, I just thought, sure, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
But we've got some great guests coming up in the very near future.
We like you too.
Only twice in the past 72 times.
In the past 72 times. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is though. Last time I talked to you, you said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy, I'm on the beach right now."
Oh, I did say that. You're exactly right.
And were you?
Oh, I was. I sure
Mark
was.
wouldn't lie to me.
I would never lie. Why would I want to be here. My heart is here. So
now you're lying. see, he just went. It's not a lie, Sandy. It's a parable.
Exactly right.
Full disclosure,
right.
I disclosed this last time. Mark was my pastor for a number of years.
Yeah,
and his crown is going to be heavy. It takes a lot of grace to be my pastor. Is all I can say. Hey, Rodney Wimberly and I went to the same church, so he had both of us.
That's right. Rodney gave me 2 gifts. He gave me a I'm not sure. He gave me a 9mm.
Yeah.
And he gave me an SKS gun because I told him I didn't have one, a 9mm. He said, you need something in your home to protect yourself. So that was thoughtful of him.
We can't say gun. You have to say beep beep or something.
Pew pew. Yeah.
Pew pew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole YouTube thing.
Yeah.
They'll kick us off. But one time, Rodney and I were going somewhere, and he walked over to his truck and opened the back door and lifted up his back seat. And Mark, there were 40, 50, 60 guns under that back seat.
Yeah.
I said, Rodney, what are you scared of? And he said, not a damn thing if I can make it to this back seat. And I was like, you know what?
You need to have 2 or 3 of those people in your life.
You do.
In case it goes down. I know where those. Now, I know not a lot. I know some people that have a lot of guns. I know a guy that has a room for his guns. And he is slowly getting the ammunition because that was the hard thing to get for a while. But, yeah. And then I know another guy, and I'm going to drive to his house if it all goes down because he's got the guns and the ammunition.
Yeah.
And a cellar.
So let me ask you a question. So when I had like 13 dairy goats and I was milking 6 goats a day, would you come to my house if things went down?
Yeah, because we need some milk.
I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, how do you measure? Like, do you rather have protection or do you rather have, eat?
Well, see, you're thinking about guns as a defense. If things go down, if things go down, I'm coming to your house eventually.
Yeah, we're going to come for your cheese.
We're going to be there shortly.
We're going to come for your cheese.
Nobody will be stealing my goats because that's just work. That's what that is. No one's going to be stealing goats.
No, we can steal you too. That's
right.
you and your goats.
Yeah.
That's right.
Again,
so that goes.
Some pigs are more equal than others.
Absolutely. That's right.
You read that book, didn't you?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, yesterday I saw Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
You saw her where?
On TV.
Okay.
Actually online because I don't ever watch TV.
Yeah.
But talking about programs that can't be funded because billionaires are not paying their fair share, Boomer. There are programs out there that just can't be funded. And I remember I hated that I was sitting here by myself because I was like, I had a whole sermon ready for that, So now y'all get to hear it.
Okay.
Let's be very clear. And that's a big if, there are programs that cannot be funded by the government, it's not because the government doesn't have enough money.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be very clear about. We have to have Medicare for all. Everybody has to have health care. And, I remember they tried, I thought it was Massachusetts, and I looked it up and it wasn't. It was Vermont.
Mm-hmm. Vermont.
So even a smaller state, even richer than Massachusetts, right? And they nearly bankrupted the state in one fiscal term by trying free health care for everyone in Vermont.
Yeah.
There's a big demographic difference, by the way, with Vermont and Vermont and the rest of the rest of the United States.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't make free medicine work in Vermont, how are you going to make it work in the South? Mm-hmm. How are you going to make it work in lots of other places?
I saw a statistic that they'd put together and watched it on. It was actually on TV. I got to see it on TV. If all the things that they wanted, Medicare for all, free housing, government food, over a 10-year period, it would be at the cost of $124 trillion. If you tax the rich, the 0.5% of the 1%, and over 90% of the middle class, and then there's about half the population that doesn't pay at all. Mm-hmm. Over a 10-year period, you'd only get $74 trillion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's if you seized every dime,
everything. Yeah. If you got everything, all the GDP.
Yeah, and
are you in that top 1%?
Half. He's in the half of the. He's in the top half of the 1%.
Yeah.
When you got 6 kids, or 5 kids like I do, unfortunately, I didn't pay a lot of taxes.
You could almost be on WIC.
That's right. Speaking of WIC, WIC is not really for those who are have low income. It's to educate moms on breastfeeding. That's the whole point of WIC. And so it is income based, but you can make quite a bit of money with 5 kids and still qualify for WIC. You still can, because I know this because I was on WIC for for several years. And when you're,
so that's where all my cheese went.
Well, I mean, his rock star wife was squeezing out babies every time we turned around.
Every 2 years we had a baby, starting in 2006. We sure did. Like
he said, I said it 2006.
Six.
So Jack was born 2006, 8, anyway, so forth.
Jack,
6, 8, 10, 12.
So
14.
Jack played baseball for me.
Yeah,
and there was this one game. Mark was one of the assistant coaches, and I walked over. I said, "Hey, Mark, I'm fixing to get tossed from this game.
So you're going to be the coach?"
And I said, "I think Jack's out of innings. So after this inning, you got to put somebody else on the mound. Best of luck, buddy."
Because he was the pitcher.
True leadership.
Yeah, we had 3 kids, and 2 of them couldn't hit the broadside of a barn from the mound. So it's like, I don't know what you're going to do after this.
Because I'm fixing to
have
go.
A walk fest because I'm fixing to get tossed
on purpose.
And he's like, "Well, what can we do about you not getting tossed?" "Oh no, it's going to happen. It's coming.
That's predetermined."
And you know what? It didn't.
It didn't happen.
I went out there and chewed that umpire up one side and down the other, and he just stood there and looked at me.
He said, "Well, I ain't gonna throw you out. You can't leave."
Yeah,
we all got to
If
stay.
you can't leave, I'm not leaving.
Yes.
If I can't leave, you're not leaving.
No, I think he was just in shock.
Yeah.
And the thing was, at that league, at that age, they're not supposed to lead off.
Yeah.
And the other team was leading off base, and this guy, he was never in the right position. First of all. And, I've always said, I'm never going to argue with an umpire over a judgment call. I'm going to come out and ask you, what did you see?
Yeah.
But I'm never going to argue with you about, well, that's not what you saw.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But if you don't know the rules,
Okay.
and if you don't know the mechanics of being an umpire, I'm going to ride you all day.
Gotcha.
You've got it coming.
Yep. I think our team name was the Houston Astros.
It was.
That year, so.
Yeah, it was Astros, not the Houston ones.
Astros. That's right. Astros. That's right.
Yeah, I think we were Astros almost every year.
Yeah.
That I coached, except we were Angels, and we were Lycus Limited.
Lycus Limited.
Yeah, we were Lycus Limited and Angels. So
that's good stuff.
Excuse me.
One of the things AOC was saying was like over in Europe, they have free health care, free college, great infrastructure, blah blah blah, and it's all paid with their taxes. And why can't we do that in America?
Yeah,
so
sure.
I looked up the tax rate for a person living in New York City is greater than 92% of all European taxes. Why didn't New York have
So it's a spending problem.
free health care and free college
Yeah.
and great infrastructure? But they got 300 miles of those scaffold towers
Yeah.
blocking the sidewalks is what New York gets.
Yeah.
Potholes and Mamdani. That's what they get.
Laura was telling me the other day about how in Europe they their rate of how many people die in a year because of heat is astronomical compared to the U.S. And so some people say, well, we ought to be like Europe, but their death rate because of heat is hot, very high.
We can't be like them because we own air conditioning.
That's right. We own air conditioning. That's exactly right. And over there, they have higher energy costs. And I don't know if she said there's some places you can't have air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, when the World Cup was here in America, there were a lot, especially Londoners who were here. They were like, I've fallen in love with air conditioning.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Absolutely love air conditioning. But they say they can't have it back in their flat, or they can't have it.
Yeah, they can't have it
because of the buildings, and But you're talking about buildings. Some of those buildings 600-700 years old.
Yeah.
What's going to happen if you start putting 700-800 pounds hanging off the wall in each apartment?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
with split units and stuff.
Yeah. So what did they do in New York about driving? You couldn't do something. They were supposed to change the air quality. I read about this week.
I don't know.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
I
knew y'all would know it, and I was wrong.
Now, the only thing I know about New York, I was on a train in Chicago. I was going to my uncle's funeral, and there was a husband and wife there, and they said they were from Harlem. And oh, that's right. No, Manhattan. They lived in Manhattan. And I always wanted to ask, do you have a car? And they said, no, we don't have a car. He said, I came here with a car, but with parking tickets, it costs $800 a month just to park a car in Manhattan. And he said, I just couldn't do it. So I just sold my car to my mom for $1 and moved on. So anyway, I had no idea.
Yeah.
But then I met people who are what's the area across the river?
Jersey.
Yeah. Anyway, they said, no, we have cars. Yeah, they have cars.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
because got big trunks.
You know, Rush Limbaugh and I had become friends, and before he died, and I asked him. He had started doing some commercials on his radio show for Chevrolet.
Yeah,
and he was talking about the Tahoe, and so I emailed him one day and said, "When did you start driving again?" Because he had told me.
You mean physically driving?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He had told me back in the early 2000s, he's like, I don't plan to ever drive again. Because living in New York, there was no way.
Sure.
And then when he moved to Florida, he basically built his studios in this compound that he built there.
Yeah.
And so he just walked across the yard.
Okay.
To go to the EIB studios. And then, but he said, Chevrolet had approached him, and that, he said, I was pretty nervous. He said, the only thing I've driven since like 1988 was a golf cart.
Oh, wow.
So he said, I was pretty nervous for a while, but
wow.
Huh. Something else I found out this week. Do you realize that if J.D. Vance gets the Republican nomination and runs for president and wins,
Yes.
we will have officially skipped Gen X?
Oh, really?
He's a millennial.
I'll be.
Is he really?
Yeah. 42 years old.
Oh, you're right. Because I'm just, what is it? 82?
80.
I was born in 1980, so I thought it was a little bit, I always don't consider myself a millennial.
Well, it's 65 to 80 is Gen X.
Okay.
And so it'd be 81
That's right.
whatever,
Yeah.
97,
Okay.
96, something like that is millennial. But, to be honest with you, it's probably a good idea to skip Gen X.
You think?
Yeah. Y'all don't want us as president. We've got one now that acts like he's Gen X. Let Marco be president. Let's see what happens.
Marco Rubio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they think Trump is bombastic.
Yeah.
Wait till Marco
Wait
doesn't have
till
anybody to
Marco
answer
gets
to.
Laura was big on the, because Laura's my political analyst that tells me everything political at home. And she was telling me that, what was it? Marco Rubio was asked about, who's Secretary of Health?
Donna
Kennedy.
Shalala.
No, Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kennedy. Yeah.
Anyway,
RFK.
yeah, RFK. And she said, do you eat like he does? And he said, no, Pop-Tarts are the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So Laura told me, said, you would like him. I love Pop-Tarts. Laura never buys them for me, but. So.
He's Cuban. He's Cuban American. So he has that going for him. He went to Miami and did a live address on a TV station so that it could reach the island. Oh. And he did the whole thing in Cubanese.
Wow.
And just told them, hey, the problems you're having, I hurt for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your government.
It's your government.
It's your government.
Yeah.
That's why. And he said, I know I'm not telling you something you didn't already know, but don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's not America's fault. It's not Venezuela's fault. It's your government. And
that's the reason you don't have any cars after 1950.
If y'all could somehow get rid of them, we would come in and build your country the best it's ever been.
We'd do it for Haiti.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just so they wouldn't come over here.
But we don't. I don't think we want a Gen X.
Okay.
Because
you don't think you have anything to offer, huh?
No. Well, we got a lot to offer.
Just don't want to hear
I don't think any of it's productive. Again, these were feral children. I mean, absolutely feral children.
65 to 80 is Gen X.
It's 20. What was that? It's 15 years.
Yeah.
Man, we're that bad. I didn't think I was that bad.
See, my first one was born in 79, and then two in 81. But she says she doesn't. She identifies more as a millennial. She said
the 79 one does.
Yeah,
yeah. She acts like a millennial.
She does. She acts like she's from the 60s. She acts like she's a hippie.
I don't think millennial has a positive. Anytime I hear the word millennial, it's never used positively.
It's changing. It was not. It was not a positive or an affirmative term for a while.
Yeah.
That's changing because now. You have millennials looking at Gen Z saying they're the problem.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, well, that's been going on for generations.
6'7", bro.
Yeah. What? They don't know what it means. They don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the grandkids were all at the house several weeks ago, and they were trying to get Pops and Mimi to do all the vernacular and the whatever that is, and all those things. I said, I am not going to be made looking foolish because they all had their phones out.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we can get Pops in any kind of compromising
you got to know that
situation.
That's right.
And Mimi's looking at him like maybe I said, don't say none of that.
That's right.
And don't do anything.
That's right.
Don't try it.
I had a guy the other day in the
go
office.
viral.
I had a guy in the office ask me a question. He said, Mark, list all the ladies at Lanxess that you know in 10 seconds. So I just listed them all off. As fast as I could, the ones that I knew. And then he played back a video to me, and he said, the video said, hey, Mark, if your wife were to die today, who would you want to marry? And then it went through.
Yeah, that's all it
I'm like,
takes.
you are sorry.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's right. Right.
That's like there was a girl. She went to her boss and she was like, if you had to explain eating an ice cream cone to someone who's never had one.
That's exactly right.
And so
That's
he's
right.
like, oh, you grab it and you lick it and you do that. And so, but when the video come out, it's like if 4 hunky firemen walked in, what would you do?
She said, if you had eat 4 ice cream cones at the same time,
Yeah.
how would you do it? Oh, I would start.
I'd hold this one over here. And I'm like, wow.
See how fast that can happen?
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So,
You could be compromised in a moment.
Quickly. Hey, how about a Florida woman?
Florida woman.
Yeah, instead of a Florida man. Have you ever played the Florida man game?
no, I was.
So here's the game. You go to Google and you type any month and day you want to, not year, just the month and the day.
Okay.
So give me a random month.
July, Tuesday. Oh, July.
July. Okay. And a day.
Tuesday.
No, a day, a number.
Oh, a day. Number 2.
Okay. So you just go to Google and you type July 2nd, Florida man,
Okay.
and let the fun begin.
Okay.
There's not a day I found yet. Now, you may have to go 3 or 4 stories deep,
Okay.
but there's going to be something crazy.
We've done it hundreds of times.
Hundreds of times. Okay. Producer Jax. By the way, it's Bring Your Kid to Work Day. That's why Jax is here.
July 2nd, Florida man claimed powers of invisibility helped him steal cigarettes.
There it is.
Oh.
Florida man claimed powers of invisibility helped him steal cigarettes.
Well, that's interesting.
Y'all can't see me.
No,
All y'all see is some Marlboro Reds floating off this thing up here.
Well, that's interesting.
Oh, man. So a Florida woman was taken into custody after Marion County Sheriff's Office deputies were called to a home outside of Ocala just after 1:40 a.m. Saturday after neighbors reported hearing a man screaming. Investigators say 41-year-old Denise Callahan had discovered messages on her husband's phone earlier that evening that she believed proved he was having an extramarital affair. After a heated argument, her husband, 44-year-old Mark Callahan, reportedly went to sleep in a back bedroom. So he's not going to sleep in their room. I don't know if that was his choice or hers. Deputies allege Denise then took an M80 style firework from a box of fireworks
read this.
in the garage, entered the bedroom, placed them between her husband's
Butt cheeks.
while he was asleep. The firework exploded moments later, causing third-degree burns and flesh wounds, according to the arrest report. He was treated by paramedics at the scene and taken to a local hospital. Officials say he's expected to recover. Neighbor Carla Medina said she heard the kerfuffle from her home. At first, I thought somebody was in serious trouble. Yes. Yes. Someone is. No, it's not I thought. No, someone's in serious trouble there. I heard a man yelling and a woman yelling, and I thought, well, it's just a domestic. When questioned by deputies, Denise allegedly admitted she had no regrets about her actions and that if he wanted to F around, then he should also have to find out. According to the report. Denise was arrested on charges of aggravated assault, possession of an illegal explosive device, domestic violence. Booked into the county jail and later released on bond. Sheriff's office said the case is still under investigation, reminded residents that fireworks are explosives, not tools for settling relationship disputes. Court records show the couple had been married for 12 years. A family member did tell reporters the two had been having problems for a while, but said no one expected the marriage to end with police tape, paramedics, and a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
So
You know,
and some Boudreaux's butt paste.
Yeah, right.
Why can't these things happen like on a Tuesday night? Why do they always have to happen? The bad things always happen on Saturday nights.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, or Friday nights because you're going to spend the weekend in jail.
yeah. I think the obvious answer is there probably are some libations involved.
Yeah.
You know, and that would,
if they were just at home watching Netflix, none of this would have ever happened. You know, just enjoying
Netflix and chill.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Then you could have as many kids as me and Mark. So, not together.
We're prolific.
We didn't have kids together.
We're prolific.
I mean, you could have as many kids as Mark does, or
right.
as many as I do. Anyway, you get
right.
it. I don't know. It's Boomer, I know, has heard this story before, but Mark, you may not have. And I had a buddy. His name was Ski Koltonsky. And he was the parts manager for Ray Jones Chevrolet in Center, Texas, where my hometown. And I used to have to go by there every week and get their ad for whatever they were going to run that week on the radio. And Ski and I just developed a great friendship over the years. Now, Ski was funny because he didn't open his mouth a lot when he talked, so you had to literally listen, you know, and he just didn't move his lips a lot. And so
he was studying to be a ventriloquist.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess
That's
so.
right.
Ski was very dry but funny.
Yeah.
And so my first wife has an aunt and uncle that had twin daughters.
Okay.
Melinda and Melissa, I think were their names.
Seems right.
Well, their dad and Ski were good buddies. They hung out together a lot. And so one Friday I walked in to Ray Jones Chevrolet and Ski says, "So, you going to the wedding with us this weekend?" I was like, "What wedding is that?" He said, "One of the twins was getting married, Melinda or Melissa." I said, "Dear God, no." And I'm sure not going to bring it up either. I'm not going to mention it. I said, "I hadn't heard about an invitation. I don't think we've gotten one. So no, I'm not going."
Yeah.
And I went home that weekend. I didn't say a word to my first wife. That Monday, I had to go back into Ray Jones Chevrolet for something. And Ski says, "Dude, you missed it." And I was like, "Yeah, I intended. I didn't want to go to the wedding." And he's like, No. You missed it.
Should have been there.
And I'm like, "Okay." And he said, "Wedding happened. Reception's going on. There's a receiving line." And he said, "I'm over here getting some punch." And he said, all of a sudden I hear, "You can't talk to my sister like that." And turned around and the maid of honor was punching the bride or the groom's mother in the face.
No.
And out she went on the floor.
No.
He said, and then it was on.
Oh my goodness.
And he said, this must have been something that was boiling for quite some time because it turned into an all-out brawl.
A melee.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, next thing you know, the bride starts punching somebody's aunt, like WWE'd somebody in the back with a chair.
Oh, no.
And one of them's grandma came from out under her dress with a machete.
Oh.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
What kind of wedding is this?
Exactly. So
Did you say, "Hey, I think
she's getting ready. Oh, my grandbaby's getting married. I'm so happy. Got on my perfume, got my gloves and my little hat.
machete.
And, just in case something goes down,
Machete.
let me go and strap this machete
in my God,
up in here,
That's
up amongst me. So, something old,
This is in
something new.
Center, Texas.
Yes.
Is that what Center, Texas is known for?
It could be.
machetes?
Wild weddings?
I've never heard that story before, and none of it surprised me.
Yeah, he's been to
It's his
Center.
family.
I'm going to have to look it up, Center, Texas, when I get back to the
So,
Yeah.
again, something old, something new, something borrowed, something that'll hack off a limb. And, but it didn't end there. It wasn't like just a few punches got thrown. It was an all-out Donnybrook. They couldn't get the fight stopped. People were running and leaving, and people were driving in and jumping in.
Yeah.
And so it ended up being 4 sheriff's deputies, 2 state troopers, and 2 game wardens.
Oh, wow.
Game wardens.
Had
Had to call him in,
had
too.
to show up to break up this fight. I have never been so disappointed in myself for missing a wedding in my life.
Are they still married?
I have no idea. I doubt it. When your sister punches out your mom, when your bride, your
Punches
wife's
out your
sister
mother-in-law.
punches out your
It's going to
mom,
make Thanksgiving awkward.
it is going to make, the holidays are going to be a little,
shaky.
yeah,
On
just a
the
little
edge.
bit.
Yeah, just a little
So,
bit.
yeah,
I've noticed things have been a little tense around here.
Yeah, just
think?
ask.
That's hilarious.
Woody and Catherine's daughters.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Are they still married?
I guess, as far as I know. I don't know. I've not been part of that family for a long time.
I got you. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a number of years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Even though my first mother-in-law, she jumped in the middle of me one day. She said, "Hey, got a bone to pick with you." And I was like, "Okay." And she said, "I heard you called me your ex-mother-in-law."
Oh.
She said, "Mm-mm."
Oh.
She said, "I'm your mother-in-law. I don't care how many you have,
Okay.
but I'm your first one."
Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And she said, because when someone says to me, "Your son-in-law," she said, "Sandy," because that's the only son-in-law I've ever had.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very good.
So my best friend, a year after we were out of high school, in fact, it was the summer of our senior year, got married, and I was his best man. Now, they were in the Catholic Church, and I couldn't get up on the altar.
Yeah.
Because I'm with Catholic. Anyway, that doesn't matter.
Too many mortal sins.
Too many mortal sins. So everybody from Morgan City that I hung out with thought I was uppity because I was dating a girl from Lafayette. You know, nobody in Morgan City was good enough.
Good enough for you.
I had to bring this girl in from Lafayette. You know, and they said everybody thought they were hoity-toity in Lafayette.
Yeah.
So we go.
Well, compared to Morgan City.
Probably, probably so. Hey, Patterson would
if
be.
the teeth fit,
Yeah,
put them in.
Yes. So the reception is at my buddy's house, and so bathrooms were at a commodity. So one of our buddies, from our class, he just decides outside's just as good as inside, and so Ronnie,
Depending on which one you're doing, yeah.
well, it was one, but Ronnie and his daddy and his brother took great exception that he was going to urinate outside on the south side of the house because there was a 10 deep line at the bathroom. You know? And at the end, we all lived on 6th Street, and at the end of 6th Street, there was a convenience store. They kicked his butt all the way to the end of that street. And Connie says, I think maybe we ought to leave. My uppity girlfriend from Lafayette couldn't handle all the butt kicking on.
Yeah.
It was like a picture of like a cartoon picture of running and holding somebody and kicking them in the booty.
Are you saying Lafayette for a reason, or am I been saying it wrong my whole life?
Well, in Louisiana, it's Lafayette.
Is it really?
Yeah. In Louisiana, it's Lafayette.
If it's in Indiana, it's Lafayette.
I've heard Lafayette.
Well, that's up here.
That's
Lafayette
here,
County.
Lafayette County.
And then I think there's a third way, but I can't remember.
Well, Lafayette, Indiana.
Indiana.
Lafayette, Louisiana.
Lafayette. I've just never heard
And
it.
it's not New Orleans.
Lafayette. That's the other way. Lafayette.
Yeah.
And don't ever say New Orleans because that's not how you pronounce that either. It's New Orleans. So
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Unless you're from New Orleans, and then you can get away with New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And don't ever play offsuit in a Boo-Ray game because you'll get shot.
You will get stabbed.
You stabbed it.
Yeah, you will get stabbed.
I didn't follow that.
If you in Lafayette or there south to Morgan City, if you're in a Boo-Ray game and you play offsuit.
You ever play Boo-Ray?
I don't
You know
know.
how to play spades?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, Boo-Ray is you deal out 5 and the dealer turns over his 5th card, and that's trumps.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't have to necessarily be spades.
Oh, okay,
so,
gotcha.
So if and then you bid.
Okay.
Up to 5, obviously.
Gotcha.
So if you bid 3 and you play an ace of trumps, whatever it is, hearts, and I got the king, and I don't play that king, and I play an off so I can hold that king, ooh, you in trouble. You can't play off. You can't play off suit. You got to, because there's only 5.
It sounds like you're speaking from experience.
It's a dangerous game.
I will say
It's a dangerous game.
with all the Cajuns in my family, I have seen more fist fights at a Boo-Ray table.
Because
Boo-Ray.
there's friendly games. Okay, you could play a friendly game like play quarter ante. Everybody puts in a quarter.
Yeah.
And 50-cent Boo-Ray. Boo-Ray is when you don't catch any tricks.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
It's like Neil.
Yeah,
Neil, yeah.
So if you catch no tricks, you put 50 cents on the next pot.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes you play match the pot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play $1 ante and match the pot Boo-Ray, because if he has 2 trumps and I have 2 trumps, then it's split. Okay, nobody wins.
Yeah.
So the pot stays there.
Okay.
And if you had 0, now you got to match whatever's in there.
And
And if it stays there again,
that pot can grow.
Yeah.
It could be hundreds.
You could be looking at hundreds of dollars.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I work for you a penny a day and you double it every day.
Yeah.
You know that story. Well, if we start out, there's 6 of us or 5 of us playing $5, and it goes around and you don't get, now it's 10.
Gotcha.
And then he bourrées, now it's 20.
Okay.
So plus what everybody else put.
What everybody else been putting in. Yeah, a game of bourrée can get real serious.
How do you spell that?
Common spelling.
Booray.
You know what? I'm going to use that when I don't know how
Common
to
spell.
Common spell.
Yeah.
Common spelling.
Common spelling.
I'm going to use that now. If someone asks me, how do you spell that? Common spelling.
Yeah. That's I can tell you're not you weren't an old Roy D. Mercer.
Roy D. Mercer.
Roy D. Mercer
Because
fan.
he said his wife's name was Shern.
Shern Jean.
And the guy says, well, how do you spell that? He goes, common spelling. He goes, S-H-A-R-N. He goes, well, throw an O in there, maybe.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I had a pet chicken. His name, we called him Bobby Fischer.
Bobby Fischer.
I'm going to steal that.
You know, that guy died recently, the DJ who,
From Tulsa.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, who played Roy D. Mercer.
Roy D. Mercer.
Okay.
Did he die?
Yeah, it hadn't been that long ago.
So I had a good friend
that
that owned a bulk distributorship, fuel distributorship in Oklahoma, and Roy called him one day.
Oh, really?
At the bulk distributorship, and it never was on any of his DVDs. I never heard it, but the guy was in my church and all that, and he called him, and I don't remember what it was about fuel, something about fuel.
Yeah.
You know, that was Roy D. Mercer. He was popular. Now I can see why you don't want us to be president. Never mind, because that was during our time. I remember my friends coming from high school, and they would say, have you heard this yet? I go, no, I haven't heard that yet. And then we'd listen to it. So, yeah, I can see what you mean now.
Yeah, Roy D. Mercer, he was a shock jock without the cuss words.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, now there may be a little word here or there, but
he said, my middle name's Dam. I ain't cussing, I was named after the Hoover Dam. Roy Dam Mercer.
Roy Dam Mercer. That's right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It just,
I've heard that name in forever.
Comedy gold, man.
Yeah.
You know, really was. And that was just any of those that you could listen to.
Oh, it was
the other one was Earl Pitts.
Earl Pitts was good too.
Earl Pitts American.
Earl Pitts American.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Earl Pitts started in the 80s, and we actually were still running him on the air here up to about 2010 or 11.
Big voice. Okay. Big voice. Wasn't it? Earl Pitts.
Earl Pitts American.
Yeah.
Wake up, America.
Yeah. So Roy D. called a place called Bixby Tours. You know where Bixby, Oklahoma is? It's outside of Tulsa, and there's nothing there. It might as well be, I don't want to be, it's small. It's a small place.
Yeah.
And he calls him up and says, I'd like to take one of your tours. He says, well, where would you like to go? He says, well, Bixby. He said, well, there's nothing here at Bixby, because they did European tours. Sure. They'd send you on a float trip. He said, well, ain't y'all got no clock tower or nothing like that? He says, well, they grow a lot of grass here. He goes, well, could we come see that? He said, my wife Sharon Jean's she's gonna be very disappointed. You ain't got no clock tower or nothing like that.
Man, oh man.
All right, something.
Let's take a break.
All right.
We're going to take a break. We will be back with more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
Hey, buddy, we've been through a lot together. There was the chicken incident of 18, the steak incident the year after that, and who can forget the hot dog thing that happened last summer? I heard the fire department's still using photos of that for the calendar. But now you've learned, and let me tell you what you should do next. Start your next cookout with fresh, hand-cut, quality meat from Timber Lane Meat Market. Then you'll be the talk of the town for the right reasons.
For 50 years, one name has kept South Arkansas rolling strong: Smackover Motors. From brand new rides to dependable pre-owned vehicles and hard-working fleets, Smackover Motors has helped generations find the perfect fit for the road ahead. And long after the sale, their expert service department keeps you moving with trusted care, honest work, and hometown service you can count on. 50 years of keys, miles, handshakes, and community. Smackover Motors, driven by service, powered by trust since 1976.
Experience, courage, common sense. All of these are traits we want in any elected position. but especially in the man we will pick as our next sheriff. Michael Fife hasn't just been in law enforcement for 30 plus years. He's the one who answers the call in the middle of the night, putting himself last and Union County first, looking folks in the eye, doing what's right, standing up for all of us. Vote for Michael Fife for Union County Sheriff.
Hey, Caitlin.
Hey.
You and me, we see everything. You on the court, me from up here.
You are 10 feet tall.
Runs in my family. Hey, you know who else sees everything?
State Farm.
Yeah, they look at everything to make sure you get coverage that fits your life and budget. I also see the camera guy wore his nifty vest again.
It's nice, huh?
Hey, you got any lip balm in there? I'm trapping like crazy.
Coverage that fits your life and budget. State Farm.
If you born and raised in Arkansas, make some noise right now. You got place they've built right here in your town.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer and our special guest, Mark Day. But not only, Mark, are we off the back porch, but we are on the big couch. But you got to do that. You got to
the big couch
on the big couch.
Okay.
Yeah, because it just gives it some, you know, some gravitas.
It's very comfortable. I really enjoy it. I don't have one of these in my home.
This is what we found on the side of the road that was left of the big couch.
I've always said that when you go to college, everybody comes in the U-Hauls, and everybody leaves in their Honda Civic. So this kind of beauty right here would be out by the road, because it didn't fit in the Honda Civic.
I tell you where I got this from.
Where?
From Camp DeSoto, the Boy Scout camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Jax and I had gone down there for a business after hours thing with the Chamber of Commerce.
And that was recent.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I walked up and someone said something about where I'd been or whatever. I said, man, I've got to find some furniture for my office. I said, we just got an office. And I said, I don't need office furniture. I need like couch, love seat type thing. And the lady that runs the camp said, by the way, I've got a whole building full of couches.
Wow.
And so we went over and looked at them and I was like, I like that. And so that Saturday, Jax and I showed up out there and
because it'll do this.
They had some kids from OBU come help us.
Yeah.
And they loaded it all up.
Yeah. This thing's versatile.
Yes. And in pretty good shape.
It's
They were Eagle Scouts.
That's right. They were Eagle Scouts. Yeah, that's right. They were Eagle Scouts.
Yeah.
So, hey, by the way, Boomer, you know, we talk about the things that you can buy that are made locally.
Yeah.
At Timberlane Meat Market. Well, how about some lemon drop jelly?
Ooh.
Don't that look good?
That does look good.
And this is Faye's Water Bath Canning.
Miss Faye.
Miss Faye's, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can get that at Timberlane Meat Market. But here's the one.
Look out.
They may not get this back, Boomer. You know, every week I take the stuff back to them.
But you're not going to.
But they may not get this back. This is some spicy dill pickles that Miss Faye made. And I've had Miss Faye's spicy dill pickles. So they probably won't get these back. These probably aren't going to make the cut.
Miss Faye gave me one of my greatest compliments. I was talking to her. You know, she used to work at the chamber. And I was talking to her one day. We're at an event. And this guy walks up. And she says, she looks the guy straight in the face and says, straight in the eye and says, do you know who this is? Pointing to me. This is my favorite Mark. My favorite Mark at all time. What she did not know is she was talking to Mark Sandy. His also name was Mark. And I took that as the greatest compliment that she's called me her favorite Mark.
She didn't know Mark Sandy.
She didn't know Mark Sandy. So
yeah.
That's another Mark. And I thought, that is so sweet, Miss Faye.
That is funny.
So.
Well, yeah, you know what? You're up in my top three.
Top three?
Yeah.
You mean like Mark, what's the baseball player? Mark
McGuire?
McGuire. He's like in the top three?
No.
Oh, okay.
He played for the Devil.
Who are the other ones? The Devil, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Hush the
just because I'm curious, who are the other two? I'm just curious.
You can't say that 3 times out loud here with Sandy around.
One would be my good friend for the last 40-something years, Mark Matthews.
Okay.
And Mark used to have this thing on Fridays. His wife would go to her mom and dad's with her sisters and all that.
Yeah.
And he, no one wants to go to their in-laws. So he was like, yeah, y'all go do that thing.
Sure.
And so he started having guy night on Fridays at his house.
Understood. I'm number 3. Don't worry about it.
You don't have guy night.
I don't have guy night.
You have to come over and milk the goats
Exactly
night.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm stuck. Don't worry about it.
We would watch episodes of Cops.
Really?
Yeah.
Cops.
I love that.
And so there was an episode.
You mean Bad Boys?
Those.
There was an episode where the
What you gonna do?
police show up at this guy's house because his wife called him because I don't think he had hit her, but she was afraid he was going to.
Let me interrupt. Somewhere along the way, he says, "All right, look, I'm going to tell you the truth."
This guy
never
didn't-
said that?
Not this guy.
Not this guy.
That happens a lot on that show.
Or what had happened was.
What had happened
What
was-
had
happened.
I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm not going to lie. Listen.
That when I
All
was a
right.
cop, that was my favorite.
All right, look here.
I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm not gonna lie
Well,
to
I would
you.
hope not.
Not anymore, anyway.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
But this episode, they show up and they're like, "Hey, she called. We got to take you to jail." And he's like, "This is my house," and they're like, "Doesn't matter.
Not how it
Yeah.
goes.
Not how it works, buddy.
Yeah.
You got to go."
So if Mark had guy night, is he number 2 or number 1? I'm just curious. Mark Matthews.
I don't know. He would probably number 1.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about number 2. Don't worry.
Yeah, I can't even.
I'm waiting.
So you're number. Let's say that you're number 2.
Oh, that's thoughtful.
You're my number
Gosh,
2, Mark.
that's
How about
great.
that?
Today.
Hey, and then when I moved here and I had to sell a house I couldn't afford anyway, Mark Matthews bought it.
Oh, look at there.
So that's another reason he's
What
one
did
of my
he do that
favorite
for?
Marks.
Just to have it?
Well, because he wanted to live in it. It was a nice house.
Oh, he lived here. I thought he was.
No. In Texas, he bought my house that I couldn't afford there.
Oh, in town. I thought you meant here when you moved. Hey, you're gonna have to excuse
No,
me.
I followed it too. That's what I
You're
thought.
gonna have to
I thought he was
excuse
talking about
me.
here, but then now I gathered it. So,
yeah. He bought the house that I couldn't afford in Texas that I needed to get out from under.
That's
Gotcha.
like a country song.
Okay.
Yeah.
He bought the house I couldn't afford in Texas. You gotta
Hey.
go up on Texas. Texas.
Here's our question of the week this week, Boomer.
Okay.
You can remove one minor inconvenience from your life. Now, you're still going to have to work. There's no magical pile of money. But an inconvenience that you could ask today for it to be removed and poof, it's gone. What is it?
A new back. I don't want to hurt. I don't want my back to hurt anymore.
How about you, Mark?
I would say just right off the top of my head, I would say mowing the yard. I don't like.
I
mowing the yard.
enjoy mowing.
I
Do
enjoy
you really?
mowing too.
I do.
If I have a rider,
Yeah.
Well, I have a rider, but I don't know.
that
It's
doesn't
just-
give you any enjoyment.
Yeah, but you got a lot of yard.
Yeah, I do.
Do you do straight lines? Do you back up and look at it and see the straight lines?
Yeah,
Is it a zero turn?
No, it's not a
see,
zero
there you
turn.
go.
Oh,
No,
well, there's the issue.
Because you got those big round.
We got to get you on a
You got
zero
those
turn,
big
brother.
round marks all over your
Yeah,
yard.
I'd say mow the yard.
And if it does like this, you just keep doing this.
Yeah.
I want to brain those guys. What is wrong with you? Get it straight, man.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Gosh, oh my.
Hey,
You know, they
yours?
make medicine for that.
What's yours?
I'm taking as much as you can already.
Mine is I never, ever, ever, ever again in my life want to have the discussion, what's for dinner?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
I hate that.
Do you
Yeah.
really?
I absolutely despise
Yeah.
having to come up with because here's how it works. I know Laura's not like this. She's fabulous. My wife will say, I'm hungry.
But I don't know what I want.
Well, how about this? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about this? No, I don't
Yeah.
want that. Well, how about that? No.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? As soon as you figure out what you want, let me know. And then the fight
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't.
I would say.
So I don't know.
I would say. I would say if not really inconvenience, but being with a group of people. Let's say we were all 4 of us were going to go out to eat. I'd rather just be a dictatorship and just somebody just tell us where we're going to go versus we talk about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You just decide.
Look, I didn't get this size by being picky. I can eat anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to stay overweight, you're going to have to eat.
If I'm going to maintain this overweight condition,
Yeah, I got to eat.
I got to eat. So,
But you know, I've seen some of the biggest people are picky eaters.
that is
I
true.
hang out with one guy's a very picky eater. Won't eat leftovers. There's some stuff he won't eat. Don't look like I'm talking about you.
no, I didn't. I knew I eat leftovers.
Yeah, this guy won't. They'll chunk it. I said, don't throw that away. Well, you're gonna have to eat it all because we're throwing it out.
Wow.
Ooh, no. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, Boomer, in our segment that we have been calling "What Are We Supposed to Be Offended By This Week?" According to CNN reporter, he's tired of seeing his Somalian neighbors being dragged from their homes by ICE. Can I just start with, if you live in a neighborhood that you're surrounded by Somalians, you don't live in a very good neighborhood. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
I mean, if you're surrounded by Somalians and it's not Mogadishu.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay.
You don't live in a very good neighborhood.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, you have to have better life goals.
Yeah.
It's like I heard this one guy said, I got life goals. I want to do karate and get girls pregnant. You got to have better life goals than that. You're going to end up living next door to Somalians. Okay?
You think that's his 5-year plan or 10-year plan?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, you want to hear something funny? Tell God your 5-year plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Boomer, you know what sucks about getting old?
Yeah.
You told me.
I know.
He used to tell me for years, don't get old.
How old are you?
I'm 54.
What? You're older than I thought. I thought we were somewhat not close, but closer than
You
that.
still in your 40s?
I'm 46.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Old.
Okay.
70.
Are you really?
Yes.
You look great.
Well, God bless you,
Way
Mark.
to go.
He's my favorite Mark.
Is that all it took? That's you look really good.
For 70.
For 70.
Yeah.
Sandy, you look good too for 54.
Well,
Whatever you are. See, we don't want to lose a lot of weight because you start looking wrinkly.
yeah, you start
To fill out your skin.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things. Somebody said, Cindy Mabry the other day commented on something, and she said, "How did I not realize how much older than you I am?" And I said, "Because I look old. Because I did not take very good care of myself for a whole lot of my life. I did a lot of things to harm my body."
That's what Grandma Hattie said. When are bad things going to quit happening to you, Troy Michael? I said, Mama, I'm just having crop failure.
I planted corn, Mama, so it's going to come up.
We had a long dry spell.
I don't think you look bad.
No, well, not, look.
No, listen, Sandy, when I first met Sandy, he was over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And Sandy's lost a person since those years. You know, who?
I lost a sales girl.
A sales girl.
You lost a sales girl.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah, hush.
Gotta go.
Let it go.
Let it go. The problem is I know that.
Yeah.
It's the ability that I lack.
Yeah.
But you know what sucks about getting old? Like I said, Boomer used to tell me, he said, "Man, don't get old. Don't get old. It sucks."
Just
and I'm
sucks.
like, well, the only alternative is dying young.
That's right. That's all that's right.
But you just can't do the fun stuff that you used to do, like waterboarding.
Yeah, I
can't.
Did you used to waterboard?
Yes.
Really?
Listen, some of my favorite memories. I'd take the kids.
Okay.
And we'd go waterboarding.
Okay.
Yeah.
I loved.
We skied a lot when I was growing up. And
Ski?
Water ski.
What's that have to do with waterboarding?
Don't you waterboard on a waterboard? Don't you get on the board and go behind a boat?
That's a wakeboard.
What's waterboarding?
What's waterboarding?
You put a towel over the face and you pour water.
Oh my goodness. That's terrible.
Weekend trip to Havana. We go down to Guantanamo.
What? Get Guantanamo.
Here, Jax.
Yeah.
We got him tied down. Pour it on there, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
Is that fun? Dang. Where's Osama?
That is not at all what I thought you meant. Oh my goodness.
Was there someone on the grassy knoll or what?
You like me, I thought he meant wakeboarding.
That's what I thought it was just an old man term of trying to get his words confused.
What has skiing got to do with waterboarding? I said,
that's right.
And I thought I was confused. He was confused.
But now, is skiing still your favorite thing to do? Oh, man.
Oh, man. Hey, you remember when Jimmy Carter passed away?
Uh-huh.
It was after the election.
Really?
Yeah.
What year was that? 70. Oh, it was here recently.
Yeah, it was in
not too long
24.
ago.
That's right.
Yeah. It was after the election, but before Trump was inaugurated back into office.
Yeah.
And, if you remember at his funeral, they brought in the presidents in order. So President Clinton and Hillary sat down, and then they brought in George W. Bush and Laura, and then they brought in Barack, and he was by himself.
Yeah.
Michelle wasn't there.
Bill, they got Bill. Oh, you said Bill and Bill. Pumpkin Lake.
Michelle wasn't there, which made George W. Bush cry. But you know, he's got some jungle fever, man.
Especially with Michelle.
He is crazy about some Michelle Obama, but yeah. He does that.
He gets to laughing.
Have you seen the picture with his head over on her shoulder and his eyes closed?
Yes.
It's like, dude, at least try to hide it. Your wife's standing right there, you know? But anyway, Barack comes in. And, of course, who was the president after Barack? But Donald Trump. John
Tavius Trump.
And they brought him in, and he and Melania sit down. And so, of course, then, you know, President Biden and Kamala they were sitting in the row in front of them and all that. And so at one point, you know, President Trump leans over to President Obama and
they're sitting beside each other.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's whispering something to him and Barack just starts laughing. Yeah. I mean, and you could tell it's a genuine, hearty, hard laugh.
Yeah.
And, well, they finally had a report back from some lip readers.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, did they really?
Yes. Yeah. You haven't heard this?
No, I haven't.
This is good.
I haven't either.
This is good.
Yeah. So they finally have a report back from the lip readers on what they were saying. One lip reader said, so Trump leans in and says, so where's Michelle? You're in town alone? Look, tell me what your flavor is. I can get you the hookup. He said, and hey, I don't judge. If it's little people and farm animals, just say the word.
Okay. Somehow I don't think that's what he said.
I don't either, but well, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me a bit, but if Donald Trump said it.
Well, it depends on how much you want to pay for a lip read.
Yeah, if you're giving the guy half a pack of Marlboros and some certs.
Y'all think he said farm animals and
yeah. Another lip reader said President Trump leaned in and said, "Hey, Barack, remember that time I was at the White House back in 2011 and you made me the butt of all your jokes and talking about how I would never know what it was like to be president?
Yeah.
How do you like me now?"
Yeah.
Not only was I president once, but I'm going to get to do it again.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
Or, hey, you remember a couple months ago when y'all decided to run Kamala against me? Surely you didn't think she could win. He's like, I mean, why not just go get AOC and put her on the stage? That was a dumb move, Barack.
Yeah.
And I mean, Kamala, really? It actually hurt my ego a little bit, if I'm being honest. I don't know what the lip readers have said. I haven't seen that.
No. Okay. But they've talked about it.
They have talked about it.
I've watched.
Can't they do it? I mean, can't lip readers?
Yeah,
they can figure that out.
Yeah, they can figure it out. And it's probably out there on the web somewhere. You know,
the best Bill Clinton shot that I've ever seen was when Trump was getting inaugurated, and they walked in Melania, and Bill Clinton is looking at Melania.
Yeah, he leans out.
Yeah,
looks her up and down.
God Almighty, how creepy was!
Hey,
and they just held.
How you doing? You ever seen the inside of a limo?
They just held the shot on him.
Yeah,
and Hillary's going.
But look at Hillary and look at Melania.
But how old is Bill Clinton? He's got.
He's got to be 80.
80, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be. Producer Jax.
He'll look it up.
Yeah, he'll
let us know.
How old is Bill Clinton? I'm gonna say 81.
Yeah, he's got to be in his 80s.
Because he and Bill Nolan and Edwin, they were all contemporaries.
He is 80.
80.
Born August 19th, 1946.
Wow, today's his birthday.
Shut up.
August 19th. He turned 80 today.
Let's sing.
No.
I don't.
Happy birthday to you.
I still got that blue dress.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. You know,
Call into the radio.
Do what?
You call in pretending to be Bill.
Yeah. Used to call. Yeah, we had two girls doing a morning show together on Mix 96, and it was Dusty and Drew. And I'd call in pretending to be Bill. I was like, I love waking up with double D's in the mornings. I'm just telling you. And he would always end the phone call with, "Hey, remember Obama in 08?"
No.
When Hillary was running still.
Yeah.
No, I can't let her be president, man. She'll learn too much. There's a book of secrets. I need them to stay secret. Yeah, we had. But you know what, Mark? Nothing is worse though than when I met Bill Clinton, and he looks at me and says, "I understand you made a pretty good living out of imitating my voice," and I was like, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Well, let's hear it." I was like, oh, no, sir. Not at all. Because I don't want to imitate you to you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And,
you gonna do it.
And he said, I got guys with guns. And he's like, come on, I want to hear it. He said, Edwin was telling me all about it. You, Mr. Funny Guy, let's hear it.
Yeah. And so you'll think I'm funny.
Funny how? Like a clown? Yeah. So he said, I want to hear it. I said, it's Republicans' fault that I screwed up. And he said, and it was. He was quick, man. He patted me on the shoulder and said, that is pretty good.
Where was that at?
That was at the high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
2012 when he came here.
Very good.
To speak at the El Dorado Promise sign.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't want to, it's like, although Shane Gillis does his Donald Trump impression in front of Donald Trump.
Okay.
And it's good.
Yeah. And Trump's like, I don't sound like that. Yeah, you do.
There's a Chinese guy.
That Chinese guy, man, he is hilarious.
He's got all of the mannerisms.
He does.
as well.
So he's there were some people, some Americans and he's in China.
Yeah, he's doing it in China.
And I guess his family, the government owns a restaurant, and these Americans were there. And so he goes up to the table and speaking great English, and he's doing his Donald Trump. And you can see they're like lost. And he's like, where are y'all from? And they said, Los Angeles. Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
And so finally somebody at the table's like, oh, you're doing Donald Trump. And he's like, congratulations. You finally figured it out. After he'd been standing there like 5 minutes long. And he's like, and he's using all the, it's going to be a big, beautiful egg roll.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
My beautiful Twitter.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
Frankly.
Yeah. Anyway, earlier this week, now this is where Mark, I only have this week because Mark's here. Earlier this week, I saw a report from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that said 40% of Americans have to go into debt to purchase what? It's not a big ticket item, but they have to go into debt to purchase
a vehicle.
No, it's not nearly that. It's not nearly that. That would be more than 40%.
I would say it had to be an appliance of some sort.
School supplies.
Oh,
really?
My.
40% of Americans this year went into debt to purchase school supplies. That's sad.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I say that I wouldn't say this unless Mark was here. Mark was a financial counselor for people at church.
That's right.
And
I was.
Mark, like me, was a disciple of Dave Ramsey.
That's right.
And,
that's right.
The first time, here's what happened. Ken Sibley, who ran our Magnolia radio stations, calls me one day and said, Sanford, I want to run the Dave Ramsey show. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know anything about him. Is he political? He said, no, he's more of a financial guy. And I was like, okay, give me the contract, because that's always going to be the sticking point. Yeah. Let's see what the contract looks like. He got me the contract, and it wasn't bad. But I was like, okay. So that was like a Friday. And I thought, well, before I give him, I want to know a little bit more about it. So I went and bought the audio book, The Total Money Makeover.
Sure.
And I always had a lot of windshield time, and I'm listening to it. And I'm like, this can't work. That's too simple.
Yeah.
It's too simple to work. Mm-hmm. And I keep listening and I keep listening. I'm like, by gosh, this could work.
Yeah.
And so I implemented Dave's baby steps.
Sure.
And got myself very close to debt free.
Yeah, sure.
But you know what Boomer, you know what the baby steps are? Dave Ramsey. First, you have to have $1,000 cash for emergencies. Yeah. And Dave will tell you real quick, remember this: brakes, tires, those are not emergencies.
Yeah.
Those are things you should be budgeting for.
Yeah.
This is for legitimate emergencies. And then number 2 is the debt snowball.
Yeah.
And that's just like, you have 5 bills. You take whichever one has the lowest monthly payment, and you just hyper focus, gazelle-like intensity.
Yep.
On that one bill, pay as much as you can.
Rice and beans, and you do it so much that they think the kids think they're next. You're going to sell them.
You're going to sell them in a garage sale,
That's
right? Yeah, and you get that paid off, and so whatever let's just say you were putting $300 a month on that bill, and you finally got it paid off, and you were putting $50 a month on this bill. Now you're putting $350 on this one, and you're going to do that till it's paid off. And
you don't quit paying those other bills while you.
No.
No.
Yeah, that you can do that, but they'll come repossess it. So you can't. You got to be careful about that. Anyway, then you get all those things paid off, and especially if people have credit card debt.
Yeah.
You know. Then number 3, you save 3 to 6 months worth of household expenses. So that would be 3 to 6 months of electricity and cable and internet and cell phones and whatever else it is that you spend your money on, because now you don't have any credit card debt. You don't have any car payments because you've paid all that stuff off. Yep. So you should have shouldn't be a hard time to save 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Number 4, invest 15% of your income into retirement. So you've got your 3 to 6 months, you got your $1,000 emergency fund, you've paid off your debts other than your house. He tells you don't pay off your house.
Because that's the only thing
it's tax deductible, first of all. But then you got 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Now you're putting 15% of your income into retirement. Yeah. Number 5, save for your children's college fund. And I remember in the book, they were like, but Dave, shouldn't the kids come first? There's nothing wrong going to a state school. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them going to a state school. Unless your little child is so special that Harvard or Yale or Stanford's calling. And if that's the case, let them pay for it. Let Harvard and Stanford and Yale pay for it.
Yeah.
Number 6, now pay off your mortgage. And then number 7, build wealth and give generously. And if you think about it, if you took your annual income and you don't have a house payment anymore or car payments, and all you've got are basic utilities and cell phones, insurance, you got a lot of money on your hands.
Sure, absolutely.
And, it's
or you can accumulate all that credit card debt and then
just die.
Call one of them companies and let them call them and
renegotiate.
Yeah. That, the thing is I've known probably 60 to 70 people who've done that. I've never heard a good story about it.
Oh, renegotiating their debt.
Yeah, I've never once heard, that worked out just right.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
And, we had a lot of credit card debt at one time. I had a lot of credit card debt. And that's why I don't own one today. I hadn't owned a credit card since, when did we go to Disney? 06?
07.
Okay. I hadn't owned a credit card since.
How do you rent a car?
Yeah. My debit card.
Oh, you don't own a credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a debit card, but.
Yeah. And if you know the place you're renting it from, they'll take cash. So.
I own a credit card. So I'm a Dave Ramsey fan, but I own a couple
so
cards.
you've backslid.
Yes, absolutely.
From Dave's gospel.
I actually bought my wife a brand new 10-passenger 2019 Ford Transit.
No, see,
and had a payment and everything.
What?
I sure did.
Mark Day.
I sure did.
He's not counseling anybody anymore.
Yeah, obviously not.
That's right. That was 2019. I what was my last? It was in 2018. Yeah, when I not at the church anymore. So yeah. You know what? Now that you say it like that, boy, it sure does make sense now.
Oh boy. Yeah. So I tell Mark like I tell school teachers, so there's not enough money and or alcohol in Union County for me to do your job. And because Mark would get the same people coming in time and time again.
Yeah,
and he's
same
like,
people.
I thought we fixed this. Why are we having to fix this again?
The biggest thing with financial counseling was I always despised all the time was Christmas. Can you help me with Christmas? Can you help me with Christmas? I understand you have a flat tire, you have a medical expense. Those things you have no idea sometimes. Christmas comes the same.
It's the 25th
time,
every December.
every year. And I think it's not
property taxes.
It's not like surprise. And even property taxes, they let you know in February what's going to happen in October. So
That's
like,
right.
surprise, So anyway, Christmas always just irritated the fire out of me. I thought, it's not like you could just start saving and just set aside. It's no big deal. So, but those
we
kind
had
of
other things happening.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know you did
Up until Christmas.
Yeah. But then I would go outside, and help them carry out groceries and put them in the back of their Hummer.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They had a trailer hitch on the Hummer.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm driving a 2000,
Airstar.
No. He was driving a Pawpaw car.
That's right, Buick Park Avenue.
Shush.
I did.
Yeah.
I bought a Buick Park Avenue.
It was like a 93
It
model.
sure was. It sure. That thing rode like a cloud.
Yeah.
Did it have a CB radio in it?
No, it had power windows and everything.
Had a cassette player, though.
It's so good. It's so good.
Hey, speaking of cassettes.
Are they coming back?
No. Columbia House closed down
Closed
after
the doors.
71 years.
Close the doors this week.
What are they?
So Columbia House you could send in a penny. You get 12 records or tapes, and then it became 12 CDs for a penny.
Really?
But they would send you the one of choice each month.
Yeah, you had to pay full price for that.
You had to pay, or you could send the card back.
Okay.
They'd send you a card. If you didn't want it, you could send it back, and they wouldn't send you one.
Gotcha.
But you somewhere along the line, you had to buy a year's worth of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But listen, the first 12 cassette tapes I ever owned, that's how I got them.
Really?
Yeah, I was in the.
Did you
I was
have
in
one,
the record club.
Did you have one of those carrying cases or?
Why are you laughing? We all had those.
Yeah. I mean,
like a little leather covered thing with
that,
the snap
was
on
for
the front.
that was for the CDs. Yeah.
Well, no, I had one for cassettes.
Oh yeah. It was
It was big. In fact, I got it in the closet upstairs in the closet.
Did you really?
It's still
just in case cassettes come back.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I'm keeping all my 8 tracks.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
No.
I made my final payment on my 8-track here just a while back.
That's right. Yeah, Columbia House, man.
And they had eventually gone just to DVDs, movies and stuff.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And
Is that the place where you would pay them like $25 or $50 a month and they would mail you DVDs like movies?
No, that used to be Netflix.
Okay, gotcha.
Netflix did that.
Yeah, before they were streaming.
Before they streamed.
But it wasn't $25. It was like $7 a month.
Gotcha.
And I could get.
Yeah.
They would send you a catalog, and you would go through there and you would pick
what you wanted,
which ones you wanted, and you would mail that back, and then they would send you those 3 DVDs.
Yeah.
There was no time limit on them, and when you got through with them, they came with an envelope, so you could return mailing. And then it got to where, okay, we're not going to print the pamphlet anymore. You're going to have to go online and pick them. And we were picking them online, and then it turned into where it was strictly an online service.
Do you remember the video rental stores? You get 7 movies for 7 days. And then, as a kid, I would pick out my one, my brother pick out his one, then your mom or dad pick out the last 5.
Yeah.
Well, see, that used to be a family event.
That's right. Every Friday night.
That's right.
If you wanted to know what was happening in town on a Friday night, go to the video store.
Rental store.
Yeah. And, I remember people who were quitting good paying jobs to go open video rental stores.
Oh, really?
Because there was just so much money in them.
Yeah.
And there was a guy from our church.
Be kind and rewind.
Yeah, be kind and rewind. There was a guy from our church that he did that. He went and his brother-in-law or brother built a building, put a store on this side of it, like a Western wear store. He put a video store next door to it.
Okay.
And dude made bank, man. He was making.
Yeah.
Now, he was principled. He didn't have a back room. He didn't have any adult movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he ran deals like that. 7 movies for 7 days or whatever it was. And
$1.99 day or 99-cent movie night. You could rent a movie for 99 cents.
I think he always had a 99-cent section.
That's it. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But new releases, might pay $3 1/4.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly
for those.
Right.
And if you got 7 new releases, you're dropping $25. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You $25 a week. It's $100 a month back in the 80s. That was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was people making some real big money back then.
But when you would watch a movie, when you would rent it, you would watch it once on Friday and then watch it again on Saturday morning. I mean, by the time you took it back, you probably watched it 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, man, that was just that wasn't one of those industries that came along that really, in my opinion, changed the economy.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden they're buying a VCR, obviously, and then they're buying the rewinders, because you didn't want to sit there and rewind it in your VCR. So you just take it out and put it in that rewinder and close the case, and it'd do the rewinding for. Yeah. The problem was when those things stopped, sometimes it would break that.
Oh yeah.
That movie.
Yeah,
and,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But there were people who knew how to fix those.
Yeah.
They could fix that.
Yeah.
And but and then of course again the video rental stores and all, and it just made something that was never there previously in the economy. And
when they started streaming, though, boy, it killed them.
It killed them.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long ago it was, but it doesn't feel like it was that long ago. West Coast Video was still a thing.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Here in El Dorado. I mean, we were going there.
Yeah.
We were still,
that was on college?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were still going over there, and the kids were old enough to pick their own movies.
Yeah.
And so
my sister
yeah,
lived when they lived in Conroe. They first moved there to an area called River Plantation. You've probably been past it. And it was, when they built it, it was kind of secluded from Conroe or from the Woodlands. And I said, Pat, what y'all need to do is like an ice cream truck. Y'all need to have a DVD rental and go up the neighborhood and make little stops. And she goes, well, because I got in the vehicle with them. We had to drive halfway across Conroe or Woodlands to go to a video rental store. I said, man, y'all could make a killing. She said, well, you'd have to go collect them, though. I said, well, yeah.
That's true.
It's always the collection part. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's like well, I'm going to open up a car dealership where you can buy here and pay here. Yeah, until they don't pay.
They don't pay.
Now you got to go get it.
That's right.
And I follow this guy on TikTok that he repossesses cars. And how old boy doesn't just get in fist fights every day.
Guy?
Oh, yeah.
Has a woman with him most of the time.
He's always so calm.
He really is.
He says, we can do this if you want to. He said, but you're not going to like it.
You're not going to like how this is going to turn out.
And I'm still going to take the car.
And I'm still going to take the car. That's right. Yeah. And, there was a guy one day, man, big old guy too.
Yeah.
Run out there and he sat on the hood. He said, you ain't taking this car. You ain't taking this car.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, man, at the end of the day, I'm taking this car.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to happen between now and then? That's up to you. He said, but let me just explain to you, you're not going to like how it's going to turn out.
Yeah.
And people who are calm like that and telling you, that's the ones you really need to be concerned about.
Yeah.
If somebody's hollering and screaming in your face.
Yeah.
You should be cautious, but if that guy's standing there saying, you don't want to do that, man.
The thing is, but he has the confidence to back it up. You see, I don't have the confidence to back it up.
He also has a guy that's about 6'10". It's not
well, that's the other guy. Now, I know that guy you're talking about. Yeah. He does have a guy that's about 6'10" he takes with him, and that guy does not play.
He's
if you put a finger on his repo guy, you will find out the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy will come in and like do a linebacker spear on you.
Okay. Yeah.
That is a different guy.
But that was like one time I was umpiring a baseball game, and this coach was really letting me have it as a coach. Look, I've heard all I'm going to listen to. Now I can either run you out of the game, or you can go back to your dugout and I'll go back behind the plate. That's fine. Go back behind the plate and I'll just see you after the game. And I stopped. I turned around and said, listen, man,
you don't want to do that.
You don't.
Said, Rodney Wimberly. He's my good friend.
I said, of all the bad decisions you would make today, that one would, and by the end of the day, you would realize that was the worst one you made. And he was like, I didn't hear anything else out of him for the rest of that game. So, look, it's like I told people, I was a police officer. I'm 5'7". Okay.
You were a police officer?
Yeah.
You must have a resume that's long.
I had to have a bunch of jobs because radio didn't pay very well, especially when I first started off and those checks were bouncing.
Didn't pay at all.
Yeah, it didn't pay at all. But I told people I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
I have to know how to fight. You
Gotcha.
know, I don't, and I don't want to. I only ever had to fight two people as a police officer.
Okay.
And
they're both dead.
No, they're not. Well, one of them actually is, but
you didn't kill him.
I didn't kill him. No. But so I had to learn how to fight.
Yeah.
And
I've never been in a fight.
Me
good
either.
for you.
I've never hit anybody in the face.
I've only hit one person in ninth grade, but that's because he pulled the chair from underneath me when I was trying to sit down.
Oh, that's the reason to hit somebody.
In English class. But that was all the time I ever hit anybody. So
nice. Jax can't say that.
Okay.
Let me tell you a quick story. Casey and I were going to go do some grocery shopping. And Jax was about 14. Cam was about 12. I said, we're going to run to the grocery store. We'll be right back. I said, okay. We go to the grocery store. We get some groceries. We come back. And I pull up in the driveway and I just look over at the yard. And she's like, what is it? I said, somebody's been in the yard. She said, you can tell someone's been in the yard just by looking at the grass. I said, someone's been in the yard.
Oh, it was stirred up.
And she's like, okay. So we walk in the house, we carry the groceries in, and Cam's sitting there crying. Big old tears, red eyes. I'm like, what's going on? He said, Jax got into a fight. And I said, well, where's Jax right now? He said, he's in the shower. And I was like, well, what happened? And it said, you know, those older boys that were down visiting their cousin on such and such street? And I'm like, yeah. He said, they come by and one of them started talking smack, and Jack said, well, that's awfully brave of you to say that from over there, but you won't come over here and say it. I said, hold on, those boys are like 18. And he said, I know. And so evidently the boy was dumb enough to walk in the yard and say whatever it was he said, and it was on.
Gotcha.
And so Jack's whipped both of them in the yard, and he comes out of the shower a little bit later, towel wrapped around him, comes walking through, and I look over at his hands, and his knuckles are all swollen and red. Okay. Anything go on while I was gone? No, not really.
We handled it.
They didn't come back either.
They didn't. Now, he was little, and I'm washing dishes one time. I look out the Jackson Cam and some neighbor kids in the backyard playing, and I hear them. They're just being kids, you know. But it sounded a little louder than usual, and I look out that window to see just in time Jax is whipping one, and his brother standing there just like, and Jax grabs him and whips him too.
Okay,
and I'm like, okay. Them boys ran off crying, and they come in the house, and I said, what was that all about? Oh, he called Cam a bad name.
Well, that's a proud moment, I guess.
It was
a proud moment.
It was.
There we go.
Yeah, it was. But you know, now here's the thing: he and Cam hated each other growing up.
Yeah.
You know, and shared a room.
Yeah,
and couldn't stand each other, and used to just talk mad crap to each other. You know.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're roommates now.
Are they really?
Yeah. They live. They have an apartment together.
You mean there's hope for my 4 boys?
No. No, because I hear it from both sides. I hear it from him and Cam. Can't stand living with him. Dad, can't you do? Nope.
That's y'all were adults.
When y'all moved out, that was it.
After Jack pesters. Jack's our oldest. He pesters a lot. But since he's moved out, he's really Andrew's the 16. Charlie's the 18. They talk a lot now. I mean, they text and talk. So
now, who's running track? Is it Andrew?
Andrew's running track cross country.
Yeah, because I mean, y'all went to like Illinois or something.
Des Moines,
Iowa. Yeah,
Des Moines, Iowa. We did. We've been to Des Moines. We've been to Knoxville. Do what?
Dubuque.
Des Moines, Dubuque. Yeah.
Mason City, Keokuk.
We just drove up there, stayed for 12 hours, and ran the 9-minute and 30-second race, and came right back.
Wow.
So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. But you know what? Cars these days have that automatic lane control.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And slow down when you get.
Yes. Oh, I love it. You don't have to press the gas or brake, and you do have to have your hands on the steering wheel.
Yeah, if you take your hands off the steering wheel.
Yeah. Do you need to pull over?
Oh man,
she'll talk to you.
That's right. Oh, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've been Des Moines, Knoxville, Memphis. I mean, Little Rock. Yeah, we've been all over. So
I've been everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man. Yeah. It's you know, I mean. Good for you. I remember seeing that y'all were in Iowa, and I was like, good grief, man.
I know. We're committed parents. I used to not make fun, but I think, how do baseball parents do it? And here I am.
I'm still wondering.
Traveling cross country so my kid could run a 9-minute and 30-second race. And then we come home.
Yeah.
We stop at a Love's gas station, take a shower, and then we come home.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a big deal.
And now, you know, Boomer, you might remember this. Last time Mark was here, he was fresh off of his marathon.
Yeah.
He'd went and run a marathon in D.C.
I did. I sure did. Yeah, I haven't run since.
No.
Yeah. You can probably tell from my physique.
Oh, whatever. Whatever.
But I do go to the gym now 3 times a week now.
Do you do anything
get out of the
there?
car?
You know what? Why don't you mind your own business?
Exactly.
So what I did so good. I take Laura, I'd walk up there with her, and then I get the weights ready for her. I get the dumbbells, get her set up in the squat rack or whatever she's going to do. And then I go get on the stair stepper for 1 minute and go, whew, that was exhausting.
Yeah. and then go get in that recliner that massages you.
Exactly. And then I'm back like, you need anything else? Where are you going next? And then after about 15 minutes, we go home. And I'm like, whew, I feel tired.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I did all that.
I know. I get on the bench press bar and do about 5 reps of the 45-pound bar. I'm like, I feel good. So anyway, anyway, that's what I do.
So at Planet Fitness, when you're on the treadmills or the stairs, not the stair step, but
the elliptical.
And those, or there's a recumbent bike. Up against the wall is all the stations. You've been to Planet Fitness?
Yeah, it's been. We go to HealthWorks, but I've been there. Yeah.
All the stations are back there to whether you're doing deadlift but it's all racks.
Yeah, that's right.
It's nothing free.
Yeah.
So, and it's always like stand up or push or so. I'm with some guys next to me, and we're on the bikes, and this girl comes and she lays down on her back on the floor and gets her feet up on that bar and starts pushing up on the bar.
Really?
Yeah. And we're going,
it's creative.
And he looks at me and goes, "You don't think I'm going to have frog legs for something?"
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I said, I was trying to turn around. There's some things you don't want to look at.
No, I understand.
Or you shouldn't look at.
You shouldn't.
That's right.
Because you're creepy.
I understand. You don't need to stare
if I was 30, you're expected to, but when you're 70, this one, I wasn't this year. This is, you're going, "What's that creepy old man look?" I said, "Well, stand up and do it right then."
That's right.
Or put some shorts on.
That's right.
Cover that up.
One thing I do at the gym, I do hang on the bar for trying to make it for 15 seconds. However long it is on the bar, just hang there. And I realized that if there was somebody on my back and we were hanging off a cliff, we wouldn't live very long.
Not gonna make it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what's hard is just plank.
Oh yeah.
Larry Sharon said, "Let's plank." I said, "Well, I can plank forever." He goes, "Yeah, do it for a minute. Let's see what you."
Yeah.
So then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I used to do CrossFit, and they would tell us when you do push-ups, go down until your chest hits the ground. I'd always say, "What happens if my belly button touches the ground first?"
Come on back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm just going to let my belly button hits and then come back up.
So Larry Sharon's got both his daughters are fitness trainers.
Oh.
And so this is before Planet Fitness was here. We was at the Iron Gym back up there. And so his daughter's coming to town. He said, she wants all y'all to come and work out with her. So, I said, I ain't scared of Lindley. I said, and so Larry tells her that. Well, so while I'm doing what she just told me, she's over there doing something in the middle of it, and then she does a set, and then I'm doing the set, and she's doing something in the middle of those two sets. So she's doing twice as much as everything I'm doing just to show me that she's not making me do anything. So finally we get to this one spot over here, and it's a tape or on her phone. Sally up, Sally down. Run, Sally, Sally up, Sally.
That's right.
Sally up, Sally down.
Yep.
And so, man, I get nauseated. And I tell Lindley, after I done said, "I ain't scared of Lindley Shire." I said, "I'm about to throw up." She goes, "Well, hurry up. We're not through." I said, "All right, you got me. You got me." I didn't throw up, and I did finish it out. But I said, "I ain't never working out with no Lindley again."
Man.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I understand.
No, thank you. Yeah. Mark's lovely wife, Laura, she and I used to do the announcements at church together.
That's right.
You say it like, "Oh, I didn't remember that."
That's right. I forgot.
We did, yeah.
That's right.
So we did the announcements at church together, and we would show up there on I don't remember what day, Thursdays or whatever, and we would film them, we would video them, and then they would just play those announcements up. And then Mark and Chester decided they're going to take that over. They didn't ask nobody or anything. They just took them over.
You got replaced.
We got replaced
by professionals.
I can tell you're still bitter.
No, not at all. I used to get to stand next to this pretty girl.
I know.
And stand up there, and we'd give those announcements, and they were fun and funny.
Yeah.
And then along come those two.
Well.
Two Stooges.
These are the guys that one time when it'd come snow and ice, that were out there tobogganing off of the church steps.
Yeah.
So we canceled church one time because of the ice and all that. And so some of the guys were just coming there, canceled Sunday school. We were going to chip the ice off. So one dude comes in his golf cleats. I said, "How smart is that?"
That's smart. That's right.
I said, "I wish I'd have worn my cleats."
Yeah.
Now they sell shoes that go over your shoes. We have them at work. They're ice cleats. They're literally they're rubber. And you put them over your shoes. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
That one time Mark told me, he said, "Sandy, we've been working on some marketing messaging for the church," and he said, "You're going to see us. We're going to do some work over here in the parking lot." And he said, "We're going to have 5 or 6 really, really long parking spaces so that people who come to the early service can still get to the lake. They can bring their boat with them,
or their Winnebago or whatever.
That's right. They can bring their boat with them, and then as soon as preacher says amen, they can
well,
on their way
right
to the
before
water.
they take the collection. Just
That's right.
Let's take a break.
All right,
we'll come back with more of Off the Back Porch, and we'll do it right after this. Serving South Arkansas for 25 years, and all the while expanding and growing throughout the state, ProMed Ambulance is proving their motto of world-class care and hometown values. For example, their new mobile integrated healthcare communication center. This state-of-the-art facility allows communication specialists to work directly with local 911 call centers to ensure the closest medical team is always dispatched to any emergency. World-class care and hometown values. For more information and career opportunities, go to ProMedAmbulance.com.
I did the right thing. I went to school, got good grades, got a good job, and worked hard every day. I paid my taxes and my Social Security. Then, when I got injured and couldn't work, the government told me I wasn't eligible for disability. Well, if I'm not eligible, then who is?
With experience in disability law, the team at Rushing Law Firm works hard to help clients secure the Social Security disability benefits they deserve. Don't face the process alone. Call Rushing Law Firm today and let their experience work for you. The Rushing Law Firm, fighting for the benefits you've earned.
When it comes to protecting your home or business, trust the name that's been serving South Arkansas for 3 generations, Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. From residential roofs to large commercial projects, the experienced team at Cross delivers quality you can see and reliability you can count on. Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal, built on trust, proven by results. Call Cross Roofing today. Put a solid future over your head.
For over 6 decades, Glenn Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations family-owned and operated since 1956. Glenn Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlennMechanical.com.
A new shipment of express boats is in at Country Village Sporting Goods. Or maybe your boat just needs a little TLC. We have appointments available in our service department. And of course, we keep a great selection of Catalina campers. New baits, new tackle, and the latest in gear are arriving every week. So when we say everything you need to get to the water, the woods, or the camp, you know we're talking about Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado. Like us on Facebook. Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer, and sometimes Jax, and now every time Jax.
Yeah, every time Jax.
It's just that he's behind the cameras.
Yeah,
and he's producing.
He's making it all happen.
He's on the ones and the twos.
That's
yeah. Dear Sandy and Boomer. I need some advice about my neighbor. And before you say anything, yes, I realize this is a very small problem compared to everything else happening in the world. Why people ask Boomer and me for advice, I've yet to understand. But we've kind of become known for our advice.
Really?
Yes.
People ask you advice?
A lot.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
So, well, you don't want to hear. You may want to hear it, but you don't want to follow it. How about that? You don't want to follow our advice.
Okay.
My neighbor has a beautiful front yard. It looks like something out of a landscape magazine. Mine looks like someone tore the magazine up and threw it in my yard. Sure. The problem is that he keeps making little comments about it. Last week he said, they make weed killer, right? He said, so this time when he said it, I said, they make curtains, but I don't ever comment on yours. He laughed, but I wasn't joking. Now I'm wondering if I went too far. The bigger problem is that I actually want to improve my yard, but every time I see him working on his, I get annoyed and decide I don't care anymore. At this point, I think I'm letting a 63-year-old man with a riding lawnmower control my emotions. So here's my question. Do I swallow my pride and ask him for some landscaping advice, or do I double down and let my yard become a wildlife preserve just to prove a point? Signed, the neighbor with the dandelions. You don't have to ask him for advice. Matter of fact, it's going to kill him that you don't. If he's the one making comments about your yard, no. You need to find someone who has a yard better than his, and go to them and tell them, my neighbor talks smack about my yard and your yard's better than my neighbor's, can you come look at mine and tell me what I could do?
Yeah.
They will be happy and it will be free. And they'll probably come help you.
And they'll be there.
Yeah.
If you can get him to come to your yard.
Yeah.
Well, that'll go all over the guy.
Oh, it will.
But if you want to be a good dude.
If you want to be a good neighbor, sure. But if you want to twist it a couple times, get someone else to help you.
Well, what WWJD? Come on.
What would Jose do?
Yeah, Jose.
Yeah. Jose would paint out the lines and he'd say, we're going to dig here. We're going to call 811.
I can see why people don't ask y'all for advice.
No, they do, though.
Oh, they do ask you for advice.
I tell them all the time, don't listen to, we are idiots.
We're just doing it for effect. We're saying stuff just to get a rise out of people.
Good stuff. Okay, that was good.
Dear Sandy and Boomer, I need you guys to settle something for me. I went to dinner with 3 friends last weekend. We all agreed beforehand we're just going to split the bill evenly because nobody wants to sit there and do math after dinner. Everything was fine until the check came. One of my friends had ordered a $52 steak. Another ordered a $38 seafood dish. Yeah. Another friend and I both had $16 hamburgers because apparently we like having money. Then one of them said, let's just split it 4 ways. Well, I did the math in my head and realized I'm about to subsidize approximately $25 worth of somebody else's dinner. I didn't say anything because I don't want to be that guy. So I paid my share and I went home irritated. Now here's where it gets worse. The next morning, I'm looking at my bank account and realize I'm still mad about it. It's now been 4 days and I'm still mad. I've replayed the dinner in my head approximately 17 times. I've also mentally calculated what everyone should have paid. I'm beginning to think the real problem isn't the $25. The real problem is that I'm apparently willing to sacrifice 4 days of peace and happiness over the price of half a steak. So what do? Do I let it go because $25 isn't worth damaging a friendship? Or do I bring it up next time and risk becoming the person who brings a calculator to dinner? Signed, still doing the math.
I'll tell you what you do. Don't ever agree to that.
Yeah.
Just don't ever agree to that. Then they don't have the problem. That is a dead giveaway when someone said, well, let's just split it. And you had the chef salad and he had the filet mignon.
Yeah, that's coming from the guy who ordered the $52 steak.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And next time you don't have to say anything. Say, we're just going to go Dutch. I'm just going to pay for my own. I'm good.
Yeah, when they say this is all one ticket, say, oh no, I'm taking care of me.
Yeah.
And then they can do what they want to do.
Yeah, if they want to put it all on, divide 3.
I'm taking care of me.
Yeah, just me.
But, generally, if I invite another couple, for example, to go to dinner with us, I'm prepared to pay for it all.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't always happen, but I'm prepared if it does.
Yeah.
And if I can't be prepared to do that, I won't invite them to dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just...
I've noticed you never invited Laura and I out for
dinner. Well, because y'all got as many kids as I do.
Yeah.
It's so funny you say that because we were at church and we realized nobody has ever asked us over to their house to feed us dinner after church to take us out because we got 5 kids.
Yeah. We have a couple that whether we ask them or they ask us, they always want to pay. And you can say, well, we'll go this time, but we're paying. It's not going to happen. So Martha just has to cook them food.
Oh, yeah.
And take it to them?
Yeah. Or take it to his office.
Yes. Speaking of.
I need to cook you food.
No. I'm owed a gumbo.
Oh.
Yeah. He didn't pay for it.
I
paid up front.
I paid up front. I'm beginning to see the fault in my logic.
Yeah. You may be writing to dear Sandy and Boomer.
Yeah. I fully suspected that he was going to show up today with a pot of gumbo.
Martha, because it was last week, Martha said, well, I'll get it to him, Saturday. And then Saturday says, it's too hot. And then
it's too hot because it's air conditioner inside.
She and a couple of buddies cooked a whole bunch of stuff for each other, and she told me today, she says, tell Sandy, she said, it's just too hot right now, but I'll get it for him.
Yeah, it's too hot to eat gumbo anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
But that first cold snap, I expect to have gumbo.
Well, you're going to get it before a cold snap because it's not going to get colder like November.
Christmas.
Maybe.
Yeah. How about this, guys? A suspicious object left outside of a Washington, D.C. firehouse shut down rush hour traffic and prompted a bomb squad response. Police were called to the EMS 20 station in Washington, D.C. about 7 a.m. on a report of a suspicious electronic device with exposed wires sitting outside the building. The person who left the object outside the building had reportedly been speaking to an employee of the building prior to tossing the device on the ground and leaving the scene. Traffic was shut down in the area, causing delays in the morning rush, while the police explosive ordnance disposal unit investigated the object. They sent the robot in, at which point they realized it was a sex toy. And
the robot knew that?
They got a camera, where they can see through the camera.
Okay.
And they picked up on it,
Hey, listen, don't be talking to me mad like that. Like I'm stupid.
Well, don't say dumb stuff.
But that's what I just said. The robot picked that up, right?
You said the robot knew that?
He did, because he's got a camera on it.
An electronic...
Made me mad, Mark.
I can see this.
An electronic...
You should write a letter.
Sex portable pump device.
No.
Y'all didn't know what that was? Y'all had to call the bomb squad for that?
They have binoculars.
Nope. Nobody wanted to admit it.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. Never seen one of those before in my life.
Not even I've never even seen an advertisement for one of them.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Y'all shut down half of Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Because nobody wanted to admit,
Sure.
Yeah. A while ago, you were talking about the girl at the gym and the leg press and all that. Jack's young single guy, good looking, debonair.
Debonair.
Yeah.
Suave.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, not tall. His mom and I'll fight if that was the case. So I tell Casey, she told the youngest one day, she said, "You're going to grow, be big and tall." I said, "Let him be tall.
Let him be tall, see what happens."
See what happens. I said, "You 5 foot, I'm 5'7". Let's just let him be tall and see what happens."
Yeah. You better show me some tall uncles.
Yeah, explain Cam.
Yeah.
6'3".
Yeah.
But anyway, we're walking downtown one day and very lovely young lady walks by, and I saw Jax, he noticed her. And I leaned over, we were walking along. I said, "The great part about being 54, son?" He said, "What's that?" I said, "I fully realize." He said, "Realize what?" "That I can't do anything for her but make her mad and embarrass me." So I don't have to worry about that anymore. Boomer, I have found a story that I think was specifically written for our podcast. A guy in Illinois got stuck inside a gas station sign.
A gas station sign.
The
fuel sign?
Yeah, the sign that says, $3.49.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go there and get it.
And not one of those little signs out front. This one was 130 feet
up
off the ground.
Interstate sign. One of those, yeah.
Yeah. In Wilmington, Illinois, apparently this guy was doing maintenance work on it. He got inside the sign and something went wrong. And suddenly he was basically trapped up there. Now, here's the part I like is that he wasn't stuck up there for like 10 minutes. He wasn't up there for an hour. He was up there for several hours.
Yeah.
How'd they figure out he was in the sign? He was like, "Hey, anybody seen Gary?" "No." "You looked in that sign?" "Why would I look in that sign?" "Well, I've run out of places to look." I don't know. He was in the sign. They had put him in one of them lifts.
Yeah.
Got up there. Well, the lift malfunctioned and it lowers itself back down while he's in the sign.
Oh.
And he goes to get out and he's like, yeah. So he can't, he's up there hollering. No one can hear him. He's 130 feet above the interstate.
Wow.
No one can hear him.
No
Finally, they figure out that's where he is. Now, rescuers, they couldn't get that machine to work. So they called the fire department.
Yeah.
That would be, I would have done the same thing. Fire department showed up and said, our ladders
not tall enough.
Our ladders won't go that high. Our ladders will go 100 feet.
Wow.
And they said, "Well, can we tie another one on the end?" And they said, "No, you don't want to do that."
Yeah.
In which you're right. I don't want to climb out at 130 feet.
You'll just stay in the sign.
I would be more than happy to stay in the sign. Send me a drone with a McDonald's burger up here and I'm be just fine,
Call Amazon or something.
Maybe send up one of them little bottles of Jameson's. I'm going to need a little something. After being stuck up there for that long.
Calm your nerves.
Yeah, right. Anyway, they finally called the company that manufactured it. They said, "We've got another one, but it's about 140 miles away."
Wow.
And so some state troopers said, "Tell them to load it up, put it on a truck. We're on our way."
Okay.
And as fast as that 18-wheeler could roll, them troopers were in front running lights and siren.
Yeah.
and got out.
Wow.
He got out like 11 o'clock that night.
Oh my goodness.
I'm hoping it wasn't a hot day.
So you think he was doing work on the sign?
Yes.
He was working on the
sign.
it.
Okay.
He was up there working on the sign and got stuck up there because
his lift went back down.
His lift went down and they couldn't get it to raise back up.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so they had to bring one in from 140 miles away.
Yeah.
They didn't have no rental shop in town or nothing. Oh,
nothing for 130 feet. I mean,
that's the whole thing.
That's a different.
That
kind
is
of lift.
a different lift. I saw a picture of it in the news story that I was reading, and the one they brought to get him out. And man, I don't know if I'd have been comfortable stepping onto that thing. That it looked like his little topsy turvy.
That's right. Yeah.
And but see, there's the difference in me and him. I'm not going up there in the first place.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be up there.
They said, "Oh well, it was just a routine maintenance job." No, there was nothing routine about that one. It may have supposed to been.
Y'all may do that all the time, but staying up there is not routine.
Yeah. If you tell me, hey Sandy, we have to go up 130 feet on this, you know what?
We don't.
I forgot I have a root canal I have to have done today.
You know, it's probably an hourly job, so really is getting paid for being up there.
Yeah.
So.
Explain that overtime to your boss.
Right.
Hey boss.
That's right.
I ain't gonna make it back to the shop before y'all close today.
I'm like, hey, how much you pay the new guy?
Yeah, that's too much.
Too much.
Mr. George.
Yeah. How much you pay the new guy?
That's good stuff.
You know, but I will say this. He was the highest paid employee that day.
Oh my goodness.
But I pump punch.
You get it? No, I got it. That's right.
Right?
Yeah, right. So there's a trend right now to use AI and to ask AI to, how would you introduce me to someone who hasn't met me yet? How would you warn them about me before I met them? And for what I pay for all the AI we use, I'm going to use it for that.
Okay.
So I did.
Okay.
I asked it to, how would you warn people before they meet me, and how would you warn people before they meet Boomer? And here's what our AI had to say.
What did you have to put in for them to know who we are?
Oh, they already know.
It already knows based on the questions and information he's been asking and feeding it since y'all started.
You've been talking AI about me?
No, you talk to it. It's listening right now.
I didn't know that.
Well,
I mean, I knew that, but I didn't think of it right then.
Yeah, I mean, if you're is listening, that certainly is. You know? So it says, before you meet Sandy, understand something. He looks like a perfectly normal, reasonable adult. This is a trap. Sandy is the kind of person who can begin a conversation about a local football game and within 8 minutes somehow arrive at a discussion about a Florida man who tried to steal a forklift while wearing a dress or pretending to be a priest. He runs a local media operation, which means he's developed the dangerous ability to turn literally anything into content. If you tell him a funny story, it's going to be a segment on next week's podcast. If you tell him an embarrassing story, you've just given him a segment for next week's podcast. If you specifically say, please don't tell anybody about this, congratulations. You've now made it 3 times more likely it's going to be a segment on this next podcast. Sandy also has a particular personality trait of asking perfectly reasonable questions and then immediately taking the answer somewhere nobody expected it to go. Yeah. He enjoys golf, local sports, making fun of people, and apparently believes that if something can be made funnier, it is his civic responsibility to do so.
Gosh.
He'll seem calm. He'll seem approachable. He'll probably even make you feel comfortable. Do not tell him anything you don't want thousands of people to hear in next week's podcast.
And I'm sitting right here.
Yeah. Now, Boomer.
Okay.
It says, Boomer is Troy Boomer Barrios. And Boomer is a little different. It says Boomer 69. Boomer 70. And now it knows. Boomer is 69, which means he has accumulated nearly 7 decades of life experience and has apparently decided to use approximately 4% of it responsibly. Boomer has the unique ability to hear a perfectly ordinary statement and immediately find the one thing about it that deserves to be questioned, mocked, or completely misunderstood. He is the guy who can turn a simple story into a 15-minute argument over a technicality no one else cares about. You might say, I went to the grocery store. Boomer will say, which grocery store? And you answer, why? And then he says, but why did you go to that one? Then you explain. He said, well, there's the problem right there. Somehow you're now defending Brookshire's. And Boomer's sitting there possessing the confidence of a man who's never once allowed the possibility of being wrong to interfere with a good story.
That's right.
He'll tell you something with absolute certainty. You can show him evidence. He still won't reconsider. He certainly won't apologize. He'll simply say, well, that's not how I heard it. And then keep on talking. I didn't ask it to do this, but it did this. Now, together, this is where the real warning belongs. Do not put Sandy and Boomer in a room together unless you have at least 2 to 3 hours to spare. They feed off of each other. Sandy brings the story. Boomer challenges the story. Sandy makes the story worse. Boomer tells a completely unrelated story from the 80s. Sandy finds a way to connect the two. Somehow now they're both laughing while you sit there wondering how a conversation about a gas station sign, a gas station sign, became a discussion about prostate health, politics, high school football, and whether a raccoon can beat a grown man in a fight. The most dangerous part is they genuinely believe they're helping. If they ask you, can we get your opinion on something? Leave. Do not answer. That is a trick, not a question.
It's a trap.
That is the opening scene for next week's podcast.
That's hilarious.
I thought so too.
Your wife is lucky to have you. She really is.
She is. You hear all that?
I heard all that.
I sounded like an interesting person.
You sure did.
Yeah.
Man. Eddie Tarpley, who ran our Hot Springs radio stations for so many years, he had this little saying when somebody would say, Eddie, how long have you been married? He'd say, I have you know that 32 years ago, Mrs. Tarpley had the great fortune and being the benefactor of being entwined in the silken web of matrimony with one Eddie Tarpley. Well, he does this one night at a party, and his wife's standing right behind him. And I look around him and I was like, and he's like, she's not standing there. I was like, and he just walks off. He's not going to turn around. He's not going to look back. Eddie was one of those guys, God rest his soul. Eddie was one of those guys that could play any instrument.
Yeah.
He just phenomenal musician, and not just play it, master it.
Yeah.
He could never have touched a saxophone in his life, and you just hand him one, and next thing you know, he's, the girl from Ipanema, or whatever. We were in Pass Christian, Mississippi one time, and we went to this restaurant, and they had a piano, and the guy said, "Thank you, ladies and gentlemen," and he left. The place is packed.
Yeah.
We're not going to eat for 2 hours, So finally, after we supplied Eddie with enough liquid courage, we said, Eddie, go get on the piano. And so he did.
Oh, really?
And he played for like an hour and a half straight.
Man.
And then people were coming up there and putting money in the jar and all this stuff. And so at the end of the night, we took all that money and gave it to our waitress.
Oh, that's nice.
But it was fun. But Eddie was that.
What did you contribute to the dinner?
Nothing.
Not according to AI.
I was the designated driver, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were, just those managers meetings, we would go down there. A lot of tradition, and when I was the new guy, I didn't get to pick where I was going to sleep. It was picked for me, And so I was literally on a rollaway bed in a corner of a room with another guy. And they're like, better hope he brought his CPAP. He didn't. And so, and then when I was no longer the new guy, it was a little better. But as the new guy, the first thing they do is they take you to this place called Little Ray's, which is moved from Pass Christian after Katrina. It moved over to Gulfport or whatever the next little, one of those towns runs into the next one all through there on the beach, but they take you to Little Ray's, and you didn't realize you're buying? Yeah, you're buying.
Oh no!
And that was your initiation.
Terrible.
And they would, we'd be sitting at the table and say, "Hey, take a bottle of wine to that table over there. Make a good bottle too."
Yeah,
and they would, and then we're eating crawfish and shrimp, and can you bring us another 5-6 pounds of shrimp?
Oh gosh!
And he's thinking, how can anyone eat anymore? They're not going to.
Yeah,
it's just that you're going to pay for it.
Gosh, that sounds terrible.
It's a rite of passage.
Okay.
I refused to do it when new people would come along. They'd do it to them, and then I'd go there and slip them like $100, $200.
Sure, yeah.
Because, you're new to the company, and chances are you're not going to make it very long anyway. For a while there, we were going through some GMs pretty regular.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. See, I didn't let them do it to Sibley.
Okay.
Because I was like, I said, we bought that man's radio stations out from under him. You're not going to do it to Sib. I'm not going to let you do it.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. But, we after Katrina, though, where we used to go down there, which I didn't know until recently. We had Madison Murphy on the podcast, and Madison told us that we always called it the Murphy compound.
Yeah.
But Madison said his dad called it Presqu'île, and that's where Presqu'île Winery came from, was what his dad called that. But after Presqu'île was gone, we kind of bounced around the country where we would go hold our managers meetings, and we went to Fredericksburg a couple times, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Fredericksburg's great.
Yeah.
You get out of Texas Hill Country.
Hill Country's beautiful.
We showed up into town one time, and it was late. And we asked the people at the resort we were staying at, I said, is there anywhere we can get something? They said, yeah, you're going to, everything else pretty much is going to be closed. But if you go out here just west of town, the road's going to Y, and right in the middle of that Y is an ice house, and they make a killer steak. You're going to like, So we go out there, and it's one of those places that when you sit down at the table, they just push like a horse trough full of beer and ice over to your table.
Yeah.
And they know how many's in there, and they're just going to charge you for however many's missing when you get ready to go.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're sitting there, and we've all ordered steaks, and I look over there, and there's some guys sitting at a table, and I leaned over to Mr. Nolan, and I said, Bill, that's Ray Benson. And he's like, where? I said, that table right over there. And
the owner of the Saints?
No, Ray Benson, the singer from Asleep at the Wheel.
Okay. That's by me.
Yeah. So look over there, and sure enough, it's Ray Benson, like all 7 foot of him, And after those guys got through eating, they went out and brought in some equipment, and they got on a stage. It's not much bigger than that table, but they put that equipment up there, and they started singing songs. And I mean, you're at a real Texas ice house.
Yeah.
When, Ray Benson and Asleep at the Wheel standing up on the stage.
Wow.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was surreal.
Yeah. Cathartic.
We went 1 year to Ruidoso, New Mexico, and I was playing golf, and at the number 1 tee box, it says you are 6,372. I don't remember if that's the exact number. Feet above sea level.
Where was this at?
Ruidoso, New Mexico.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Said where you would normally use a 5-iron, consider a 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the air's so thin.
Oh, okay.
So they had some like 280-yard par 3s.
Okay.
And that's just, you're hitting on 500-yard par 4s.
Yeah.
And we're playing with some guys from Arizona, and it's starting to get dark, and it's a 440-something yard. And I said, I'm going to pipe one. I'm just going to unleash. And I did. And we couldn't find my ball. It never moved. It went straight. We couldn't find ball, couldn't find my ball. And then Diamond Dave found it behind the green. I drove past the green 440 yards.
Oh, really?
But it's so thin, you can't really count that.
Okay.
I drove about 440 yards one time. Yeah. Where? Everest?
On the moon.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we'd go to.
I did not know that about the ball will travel farther.
Oh yeah. That's why, like Colorado Rockies, the Colorado Rockies, they would give up everything if they could get good pitchers. But good pitchers didn't want to go to Colorado because they're going to get shellacked.
Oh, really?
They're going to get shelled out there.
If they get hit, it's gone.
Yeah, all you got to do is get that ball in the air just a little bit, and it's just going to keep going.
Okay.
Jax went to a Rockies game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they played against the Twins.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went. And that was that was neat to go to places like that. And we went to Mountain Home a couple times, Lake Ouachita.
Yep.
And those guys that were at our New Mexico stations, they wanted to come to Arkansas because all they ever saw was Roswell and Hobbs. And I don't know if you've seen Hobbs, but there's just not a lot there.
Sure, yeah.
Caliche and Mesquite.
Yeah. There's just not a whole lot there that you want to look at Hobbs. And I don't know who that is. I'm not answering that.
Okay, let's not.
So, when Guy Penrod was here, he came and did a concert. You know who Guy Penrod is?
No, I sure don't.
He sang with the Gaithers. And he had the long gray hair.
Yeah, I know who he is now.
He came here and did a concert. He's from Hobbs, New Mexico. And I asked him, I said, how long has it been since you've been to Hobbs? And he's like, I think I was there 11 months ago, 12 months ago.
Yeah.
I think he said his family had moved. And I said, okay, so they did have paved streets then. Because the first time I went to Hobbs was in 2003. They did not have paved streets.
Really?
There was one street that was paved.
Okay.
Now we're talking about a town of 54,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
It had one paved street.
But all the streets coming off of it.
Gravel.
Wow.
All of them. It was also, I was a smoker back then.
Okay.
And I was standing outside smoking.
Yeah.
And I looked at the bank clock and it said 105 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wearing a suit coat.
And you felt comfortable.
And felt fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It is different.
It's like less than 20% humidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After I was there a couple of days, I decided I wanted to go over to Carlsbad, to the caverns. And I went to the caverns and I'm coming back and I see some clouds, and I didn't realize that when it rains in the desert, that's no bueno. You don't want to be involved in that.
Oh, really?
Because even though the road may be 6 feet above the desert floor,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean the water's not going to come over the road. Because it just won't soak it up. And so it's wild. It's a wildly different environment. And, for years, Hobbs called themselves Hobbs USA because New Mexico didn't want to claim them. Texas didn't want to claim them. And it's what was considered the Badlands of New Mexico. Mm-hmm. And nobody wanted to claim it because Hobbs was just that rough and of a place. And but now everybody loves Hobbs because back in the 90s, there was a group that wanted to build a uranium enrichment plant. And they wanted to build it out here at Dodge City, just across the border into Louisiana out on Highway 15. And there was an environmental group that came up with their argument that it was environmental racism because they were going to build this uranium enrichment facility in an area that was 90% African American. And they fought them in court for so long that finally Louisiana Energy said, fine, we won't come build the plant there. And then they promptly went to Hobbs, New Mexico and built it.
Really?
And the day they announced that they were going to build it, 7 other companies announced they were going to build there as well, because when you enrich uranium, there's 7 byproducts that spin off of that. And they're going to get that as well. And and we're not talking about $25,000 a year jobs. We're talking about, like, even back in 03 and 04, they were talking about 80 and 90 and $100,000 a year jobs. And there was a point in time where the real estate guide in Hobbs had to go out of business because there were no homes to sell.
Wow.
There were 0. They, in the newspaper, you could open their newspaper up, and in the real estate section, there might be 1 or 2 houses.
Yeah. And
so Paul Starr, who managed our stations out there, he said, I bought this house 20 years ago or whatever for $81,000. He said, I sold it today for $460,000. It's just, it was just that crazy. And Hobbs has exploded. I think they built their second Home Depot now, but it's just, that's a different part of the world.
Wow. It is.
And then we would go Roswell and, Albuquerque or Santa Fe. We went to Santa Fe a few times. Yeah. And that was weird because we're going to Santa Fe. We get to Amarillo and it starts snowing, and it's early October, and it snows on us all the way into Santa Fe. And when we go up this mountain, we get there and it's like 5.5 foot of snow. And I've never seen snow like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm literally like, how do y'all even, and it said, step off in it. And you,
oh, really?
You go this
It's all powder.
Yeah, it's all powder. And so I was like, man, I hate it. I brought my golf clubs. I wanted to go play golf. And they're like, oh, you can play down in the valley. And I'm like, really? So I called this golf course called Las Campanas, which is Spanish for take the white people's money. And I asked them,
Is that true?
No.
No, that's not true.
No. But I called them. I said, can I get a tee time for today? They're like, yeah, absolutely. How about whatever time? And I was like, great. And I said, now I'm up on such and such mountain. What's the weather like there? And they said, oh, it's 78.
Yeah.
So it was polos and shorts.
Yeah.
But we left the mountain bundled up.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it was so cold, and it's just I spent most of my life growing up in either Houston or East Texas, and then I've lived in El Dorado longer than I've ever lived anywhere. But our weather, it may be a little strange, but you can't just drive 10 miles and it'd be that big of a difference. That kind of a change.
Yeah.
Santa Fe it's very artsy, you know, and Ken Sibley and I were in downtown Santa Fe and big art scene, you know, and we're walking by different places just looking. And this Native American guy walks out of this store and he's massive, man. He had to be, I know he wasn't, but he looked like he was 8 foot tall and he was this wide at the chest, big old guy. He walked out and he looked at Ken and looked at me and said, "Go home." Whoop. And I told Ken, I was like, sounded to me like
time to go.
Sound like we need to head back to the natural state. I need to go. You know,
I hear my mama call.
And said, I got to come home right now.
That's good stuff. That's right.
Mark, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
Today we appreciate you very much.
It was a pleasure.
And we know Mark has like real stuff to do.
A job.
Yeah, he has a whole job and everything. But
no, my job is all about talking to people. It really is. That's what I do. I stay on the phone. I talk to people all day long.
It's a good job.
Yeah, it's a great job.
I'm going to be a telemarketer after I retire.
You know, you and I talked yesterday about retirement plans.
That's
and,
right.
And you've just pretty much
You gonna
figured
move
out.
to India?
No, I'm not going to move to India, but I pretty much decided.
Become stiff?
No, Laura and I, we went through these questions about what does retirement look like for us?
Yeah.
And we've decided that she doesn't want me at home and that I need to be busy.
Sure.
So I will be actively busy. I'll be working probably until for a long time.
Till Jesus comes.
Exactly right. But then we talked about, what does our income look like, our spending look like when we retire? And we decided that it's probably not, even when the house is paid off, because it's not. But even when it is, it's probably going to not that be much different because we'll be multiplying 5 kids, 5 more spouses, and then all their kids. So I've got to buy birthday presents and Christmas presents and
house big enough for all the grants.
Exactly right, or something. So anyway, so it's probably going to.
So you're gonna have to keep working.
I'll need to work.
You need some more. You need some more streams of income.
I'll need to work. Yes, absolutely. That's right.
Better get some more goats.
That's right. Yeah. I won't be milking any goats for a long time. So don't think so.
One time he told me, Boomer, he said, "I'll tell you one thing about them goats. Don't ever make the mistake of falling down in front of them.
Oh, that's exactly
because they will butt you.
They will stick their nose in every crevice you have.
The baby goats will, because they're looking for milk. That's what they're doing.
Okay.
Oh, it's terrible.
And you know how they get the milk is they get the teat and they bump it with their nose.
Right. Yeah.
So you fall down, and next thing you know, you got them under your armpit.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. Oh, I've gotten angry at many baby goats. I have gotten into fights. It's with goats. Is what I have. So
fighting them off of you.
I've thrown many baby goats over the fence because I'm so frustrated and angry at them. So. It's terrible. You see these cute videos all over the YouTube.
Yeah, them jumping around.
Oh yeah, they're not cute in any way. No, it's terrible.
They're mean.
They're terrible,
and they poop.
They do.
You know, Clark Burton was in here a couple weeks ago on the podcast. He said, "Let me just tell you, after raising cows, I see why people eat them."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I had a baby goat one time get caught in an electric fence. It was just
you
stupid.
left it there?
No, I tried to kick it out, but every time I kicked it, I got shocked. I was so mad. It was so stupid. It would run right towards the fence every time I let it out. So anyway.
Yeah, well, it's, you know what?
That's what
it's thin in the herd, bro.
Thin in the herd.
Right. That's right.
Darwin may have started off with "let us suppose," but there was some things he was right about, and thin in the herd is one of them.
That's right. Absolutely.
Again, thank you.
Absolutely.
And be sure and tell your beautiful wife that we said hello.
I'll ask her if she remembers doing commercial.
Of course she does.
Of course she does.
Of course she does.
I'll ask her.
No, you don't have to ask. She does. I can promise you.
That's hilarious.
She remembers doing church announcements with me.
Oh, gal, you're right. She probably
Church
does.
guy.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You remember Sandy? Who?
Sandy.
Sandy. Y'all used to do church announcements? Oh, that guy.
Oh, my God. We had to go up there every week.
Every week. And he was all the
she's
time making jokes. He had to get some songbooks to stand on because I was so much taller than him.
I wonder if she's just as bitter as you are about taking over the announcements.
Probably so. Probably so.
That's right.
You know, we did make a video to get y'all back one time.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
We did a video of the church of all the different people that he and Chester had offended and hurt their feelings. And it was quite hilarious.
Yeah. So this wasn't something y'all played.
We played it at the church.
Morning service y'all did?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We played it for them because it would start off with, and again, these guys, you know, so it might start off and they're up there laying down on the platform like they're asleep. Hey, yeah, you know, don't forget to move your clocks forward next week,
That's
you know, that kind of stuff like that.
Right.
And so it starts with them, and it's like, we interrupt this church announcement to bring you this.
That's right.
And it was like, it's payback time.
That's right.
And so, they went and talked to Diane, who was the church secretary, and she said, she's like, they called me old.
That's right. I remember that. I remember that.
All the different people who worked around the church. That's and all, and they go to senior pastor, and he's y'all know how much of a burden it is to be these guys' pastor. My knees are wore out from
takes everything I've got.
Just every day, my knees are wore out and hurt from having to pray for these guys. And then I'm standing there. I said, and I used to stand on this platform next to a pretty girl and give church announcements.
That's right.
Every now and then we would cut a joke or something, but nothing like what y'all do, you clowns.
Laying down on the altar,
laying down up here.
My goodness, that was good stuff.
It was good stuff. It was a lot of fun.
That's hilarious. So I wanted one thing real quick. So I was on my. Working in the land department, we get a lot of phone calls. People on a change of ownerships. And this one lady calls and she says, can I just come get my check? We mail out Brian Mineral checks. And she says, I said, sure, come on, pick it up. So she comes by and she goes, oh, this is a blessing because Sunday is Pastor Appreciation Sunday, and I want to have some money to grease their pocketbooks with. And I've never heard of that. I've never heard of a church member grease their pocketbooks. I thought that was so creative.
Yeah, but how much was it? $12?
Oh no, she got over.
Okay, she got a good one.
She got a good one. No, she got a good one. No,
yeah, but y'all's average is like.
Oh no, 65% of our checks are under $100. So we send out. We're having close to 8,000 mineral owners, and 65% of those are under $100. So
nobody's waiting for that check to get there.
No, but they still call and they don't get it. So,
yeah. One time we bought the radio stations in Arkadelphia, and one of the stations was the tower was in Gurdon, and it belonged to the property of these other people. And when we bought it, I went and negotiated. I said, look, we assumed the contract. I realize this is the last year of that contract. And I want to go ahead and let's negotiate the next one because it's only a few months from now. And then that one's going to be due. And they were like, yeah. And we pretty much kept it the same. But I had to take them a check for $5,000. That was the lease for 5 years for the tower. It was $5,000. And so I said, okay, I will be here on such and such date with a check and we'll sign this contract. Then they said, okay. So I called them and said, all right, I'm going to be there. It's going to be about 6:30, 7 o'clock this evening. I'm going to be there. And they're like, okay. And so I showed up and the man, his mom, now the man he was pretty old.
Yeah.
His mom was sitting out there in her wheelchair with her oxygen tank hooked up, smoking.
That's right.
And his wife, they were all sitting on the porch, and his wife said, glad you finally got here. Because we fixed to go to the casino.
They'll cash that check for them at the casino.
I said, yeah, where y'all going? They were going to Greenville or Tupelo or wherever. I don't remember where it was. It was somewhere in Mississippi. We going to the casino.
Yeah.
Waiting all day for me to get there with that check.
That's right.
They're going to parlay that money.
Yeah, they're going to. Maybe we can turn this 5,000 into a new double wide if we do it right.
I said, they don't build those big motels off of you winning their money.
No, absolutely not. Right? Yeah, that Bellagio fountain,
that's right.
They didn't build that with nary a winner's money. Yeah, that's right. I promise you, not one person walked out there as a winner that said, let me kick into that fund for that new fountain over there.
Yeah. Where's your collection plate?
Yeah, not gonna happen.
No one's ever said that for me and mailing checks to him. So no one's ever said
never said they're waiting to go to the casino.
Waiting to go to the casino. No one's ever said that before. So we always have, we have a good time. So it's always a lot of fun. So.
Mark, thank you again.
Absolutely.
I always enjoy you coming and you've got an open invitation anytime.
I appreciate it.
And but we love having you here. And earlier today, my munchkin, she was here. She's taking college classes now.
Oh, is
and
she?
she walks over here between classes. If she has like an hour or two, she'll walk over here. And so she was sitting here. She said, so who's the guest on the podcast today? I said, Mark Day. She said, oh Lord. She said, y'all are going to have fun today.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, yeah, Mark's always fun. Mark's always fun. He helps us laugh.
We have a good time. So I've got tons of stories, but another time.
Yeah,
so.
but most of them you can't tell.
That is not true. All of them I can tell. They're all good. So they're all good. They're all good. Anyway, it's all fun. So
yeah. Incidentally, when Mark and Laura had their fourth son, all kidding aside, there was some disappointment, not just from them, from everybody. We were hoping they'd get a little girl because especially all them little boys come out looking like, so we're hoping that if they get a little girl, come out looking like Laura because she's gorgeous. And if you don't know, just look up Mark on Facebook and then go look at his pictures of his wife.
Don't be creepy about it.
Yeah, but don't be creepy about it. Yeah. But I look at him every day.
But that's not creepy.
No, not at all.
That's for you.
That's my friend. I pray for him. Lay hands on my screen.
Lay your hand down on these.
Exactly.
Father, I knows you're busy.
Yeah. So then, that's good stuff. So then one day, I'm getting the mail, and there's a letter from Mark and Laura, and this letter, I opened it up, and it's a handwritten letter from Laura, and she said, we had just about, we just decided that 4 kids was enough, and she said, but little did we know, and but also we're very proud to announce that we're going to have a girl. And I was like, well, that's going to be the most spoiled little girl in Union County.
That's right. Everything brand new for Grace Ann.
That's right.
One time.
She don't have to wear Charlie's shoes.
No hand-me-downs. I had her wear a Carhartt overalls one time for hand-me-downs. And then that's when she was 3, and that was it. Everything else she has that's brand new. So
yeah.
No, she's but we really push her because she likes piano. And she is very good at playing the piano. And she's only 12 years old. And one day she was in her bed and she was upset. And she said, Daddy, I'm not good at anything. And I said, yes, you are. You're good at piano. And she said, I'm not good at anything I like. Oh, well, yes, sweetheart, you like it. I don't know. So anyway, but we have high expectations. We have such high expectations, and we homeschool. Jack asked me, he had a math test, and he made a 94. And he asked me, he said, is that good? And I said, yeah, a 94 in a math test? That's great. Mm-hmm. And he said, do you think they call Laura Mama? That's what they've always called her, Mama. Do you think Mama's going to be happy with that? I said,
no.
Yes. Why would she be happy? Because it's not perfect, not 100. I said, she'll be thrilled with that. So we have high expectations. Laura has high expectations for education.
She's like, all these hours I done spent with these kids.
Exactly right. Exactly right. My GPA was more on the lower side, so I struggled. So
well, you were on the football team.
I was definitely more around it. I sure was. I should have known it. When I went into Washington Baptist University with a major of biblical studies, and when everybody's required to take Bible survey and then biblical interpretation or something like that. I should have known when I made a C in Bible survey that maybe I should change my major. That should have been a hint. But the ministry calling of my life was stronger. And so I continued on.
Than common sense.
So you could give anybody a C sermon then.
Exactly right. It didn't get any better the whole time. It sure did. And
so Hebrew and all that.
I took Greek. No, languages were easy. The languages were easy. I was like math. Math was easy. But when you asked me to read a Bible dictionary and talk about it later and write papers, I despise reading and writing. And that's all Bible major. I called my college, what are they called? The college,
counselor.
Yeah, counselor. And Dr. Randy Richards. And I said, I appreciate your patience because I pulled my transcript. And my GPA, I didn't realize you could graduate. It wasn't. It had a 2 in it, and that was the first number. Yeah. And it was terrible. But you know what? I had a good heart.
That's what it was.
And I asked my mom. I said, "Mom," why did you keep sending me there? She goes, well, we knew you weren't an A student, and we knew you weren't doing anything wrong.
We figured as much as we're paying them, they'll pass you.
Lowered expectations.
Exactly. Lowered expectations.
I want to be middle management.
Exactly right. So anyway, it was a struggle. It really was.
You glad that's over?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
But that is where he met his lovely wife.
I did. I met Laura at Washita. I sure
that's
did.
A good thing.
Yeah, that's right. So there was one question on one of the tests. I feel like this is a preacher in closing, trying to close a sermon every time.
Yeah. So, we say that all the time. Yeah.
So anyway, there was one time an extra credit question on the test, and it said, "What is the custodian's name for our Bible building? For the building, it was Berry Building," and the only reason, what was it?
The Berry Bible building.
That's it. That's right. Anyway, so the only reason Laura knew it is because I told her the name of Miss Dorothy many weeks ago, because I would say hi to Miss Dorothy every single time I walk in the building. Now, That's just I was just a personal person. No, I couldn't understand the Bible dictionary very well. But anyway.
But you knew Miss Dorothy's name.
But I knew Miss Dorothy's, and I knew every groundskeeper's first name on the whole property.
So when you got to that, you went, ooh,
I sure did. That'll bring me up to 72.
I got one.
That'll bring me up to 72. So,
yeah. I need another one for a 75. I
thought about literally taking my transcript and telling each grade on one day, like on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, just one day, just one every day. This is what I made in this class, and the cumulative my GPA was not good. But I tried really hard, Sandy. But I really did. I had a good heart.
But it had a 2 in the front.
Oh, I know it. Oh, yes, it did. Absolutely. Yeah, it sure did. It was so bad. It wasn't bad, but I literally could not graduate I could walk, but I could not graduate because my major and my GPA in my major was not high enough. You had to have a 2.75 to graduate in your major. Mm-hmm. And I took New Testament theology and I made a D. And it wasn't because I wasn't trying. I was really trying. But and so I had to take May term to get my GPA up. And so I had to make I think I had to make a B and to get up. And I made a B. I didn't make an A because that's the best I could do.
So Mama said, we knew you weren't an A
student.
What's
funny is I made a low B. I mean, I was like 81. So it wasn't like it was like
a B minus.
No, it was a B minus.
Yeah.
I really tried hard. So
that's funny.
So
yeah, but anyway, so Mark, thank you again for coming. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
Leadership matters, and El Dorado is moving forward. Under Mayor Paul Choate, we rebuilt streets and our wastewater plant without raising taxes. We strengthened public safety, upgraded parks, expanded internet access. New businesses are investing here. Jet service to Dallas is connecting us to what's next. Safer streets, real progress, a city working together.
I'm Paul Choate. Together we've made progress, and together we can keep making El Dorado the best it can be.
Rated the #1 course in Arkansas by Golf Week, Mystic Creek is truly a hidden gem, complemented by a modern clubhouse, complete with panoramic views. It also features a fully stocked pro shop and Mystic Grill, serving contemporary American cuisine and Southern classics. Mystic Creek promises an unforgettable experience.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
When it comes to your family's financial future, peace of mind matters. At Harrison Financial Management, they are right here to help you plan, grow, and protect what matters most. Whether you're planning for retirement, investing wisely, or securing your family's future, they will guide you every step of the way. Harrison Financial Management, your future, their commitment.
Welcome to Davis Farms Country Market in El Dorado, Arkansas. This is more than just a place to shop. It is a place where local farms, markets, and families can share what they do best. Inside, you'll find fresh produce, locally raised beef and pork, farm fresh eggs, jams, honey, seasonings, baked goods, grilling supplies, and plenty of Arkansas-made favorites. There's also a deli serving sandwiches, salads, gumbo, and other tasty choices. So whether you are planning supper, shopping for a gift, or searching for something delicious, stop by Davis Farms Country Market. Just be careful. You may come in for one thing and leave with 17. Davis Farms Country Market.
32 years ago, a young Robert Rushing began his life of public service joining the El Dorado Fire Department. While saving lives during the day, Robert Rushing put himself through college and law school at night, eventually opening a law practice in 2010 to protect and serve the rights of people in South Arkansas. By the way, he was still working as a fireman at the time. And after 23 years of service, Robert Rushing answered the call again and was elected as city attorney. Today, Robert Rushing still has that desire to serve. Re-elect Robert Rushing as El Dorado City Attorney.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer. And man, Mark Day, every time he's here, every time he comes on the podcast, he's so much fun.
I love having him here.
And you know, he's like you. He has an infectious laugh.
He does.
And so when Mark starts laughing, you know, I looked at him at one point, and he was over red-faced and gasping for breath. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to make one of the reels. That's going to be one of the reels that we put out. But Mark's so much fun and just a genuinely good guy, too.
He is. So those are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with.
Yes.
To be
well, not me,
friendly.
because I want to be better than people, and I know I'm not when I'm around Mark. You know,
because he is.
I want to surround myself with a few felons, and
you know,
so I'd be better. I'd be better than somebody in the room. You know?
Is that why I'm here?
Yeah. Okay. It's like you make me feel better about me. No, you're here because other than Buddy Sanford, you're the only one who's ever tried to, you know, rope me back in. You know? Sandy,
bring it on. that little granddaughter that works at Seven Brews, when she was little, and she's well reserved now, but when she was little, she was real jovial, and I'd have to say, Addison, bring it on down. And she'd do, when I start doing that, she'd go, bring it on down. Yeah, bring it on down.
She's such a doll.
She is a doll.
I mean, man.
Not many 20-year-olds are taking notes at church with the preacher.
She's going to, some long-legged boy somewhere is going to knock it out of the park.
You know what?
When he gets to her.
She had one boyfriend already that broke her heart. And I said, how could he possibly do that?
Because he's a boy and he's stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
Anyway.
that's the thing.
Anyway.
You know, yeah. But, you know, Boomer, talking about young people who are just not very smart.
Yeah.
I was watching an interview the other day, and I sent it to you, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Guy on college campus, and he says, hey, do you think America should be capitalist or socialist?
Yeah.
And it was 100%. Everyone he talked to.
All of them.
Socialist. Yeah,
all
absolutely.
of them said that.
And when he would say why, and they said, well, we have to help people. We have to, you know, we have to reach down and pull them up to us.
Yeah.
The first problem, socialism has never lifted anyone up.
Yeah.
All it's done is you reach down and you pull yourself down to them.
Yeah.
It's never worked.
Yeah. Well, you know, after you sent that to me, I did some extensive research on that. I did. And I was able to find out some stuff. And,
can't hear you if your fan's hand in front of you.
Well, I'm trying to pick this zit right here, and it keeps bothering me. The last hour before the show, I was on TikTok, and I researched all that.
That was your research, okay?
On TikTok, and I found out some things. First of all, we're all fascist. You know, guys like me and you, we're fascist, and white privilege. That means,
man, I can't wait to cash in on some of that.
Yeah, I'm wanting to cash in on some of that, and white privilege, fascist. And, you know, they say that we need to just, we just need to reach down. Like you said, they just need to reach down and help those people. And here's kind of what I found out that it works in my brain. You know, we have a type of government or a type of, way of making a living now that if you do good, you help other people do good. And it's kind of like that Amway thing. You know, you get one and you get two friends to do it, and then they get two friends to do it. And so you just keep building, and you start out and you're building a big business, and you just make a little bit off all those people. But the way they want to do it is reverse that pyramid, and they want to get under you, and you
do all work.
You send all your money down.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that doesn't work. That doesn't work because, in fact...
but these are the same people who will tell you that trickle-down economics doesn't work.
Yeah. That doesn't work either.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a time in socialism where, you know, you take over all the farms, okay? And so the farmers have to give all their produce, or whatever grain they grew, to the government. Well, they found that those farmers had them a little plot off to the side over here that they could produce more to barter with their friends and their family on the friends and family plan.
Yeah.
And they could do more with that little piece of over here than they would on all the acreage that they had that the government was taking. So the government decided, well, let's give them some more land so they could produce more. So the communists said, oh, well, capitalism works. Because when you put yourself at the top and everybody's below you and you got to support everybody else, you're just not going to do it.
Right.
I'm not going to work anymore if I don't get recompensed for it,
So it was so funny. This guy's, he's talking and they're like, and we have all these billionaires and this and this and this and blah, blah. We just need to help people up. And he said, okay. And so he then asks all the same ones. He's like, what's your GPA?
Yeah. That's a great
3.91. Mm-hmm. So let's just say that there's a student over here and he's struggling.
He's got a marked A GPA.
Yeah, he got a marked A GPA. So can we take some of yours and give it to him so we can bring him up?
I worked for that. I studied hard for that.
That's exactly. Every one of them were like, oh, I'm all about helping, but just giving it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to do that. I mean, I sacrificed a lot. Every one of them was like, no. I sacrificed for my GPA. One guy was like, I don't go out with my friends on the weekends because I'm studying. I
sacrifice my time.
I sacrifice.
Yeah.
Another one's like, I sacrifice this. I sacrifice this. I don't have a job, although I need the money because I use that time to keep my high GPA. So because I don't have money, then I've given up all these other things. Why would I give them some of my GPA? Because they're out partying all the time.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. We want to bring them up.
We're going to bring them up. Yeah.
But no, they're not for that. They don't like that.
So, that's just like what you talked about earlier in the show about, well, let's just divide the bill.
Yeah.
So the guy with the $52 steak, he was fine with dividing the bill with the guy that only paid $19 for a club sandwich or whatever he got. Little girl was talking to her daddy, and there was a man down the street that said, Daddy, and Daddy knew he was no account and wouldn't work. And he said that he just really needs some help. I just really want to help him, give him some money to help him out. He said, well, honey, what you can do? Said, you know what? Said, I'll pay you to cut the grass and, you can talk to the neighbors and maybe, do some babysitting for them or do some laundry for them or cut their grass. And then you can give that man some money. She goes, well, just let him come over here and cut the grass. He said, now you understand capitalism.
Welcome to the Republican Party.
Welcome to the Republican Party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, the old saying, if you're not a liberal in your 20s, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative by your 40s, you have no brain.
Yeah. And Sandy, what is the problem? And I hate to be doomsday, but our country has forgotten history.
Yes.
Intentionally. And the people that are doing it are playing a long game. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and a guy was talking about how the Germans want to do honeypot things and get senators or find somebody in a compromising situation. And we're kind of good at that too.
Yeah.
And our basic society doesn't even think about a long game. We don't ever think about getting a toaster repaired. We'll just go buy another toaster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Other countries don't think that way, especially in the Orient and especially in China, that they're playing a long game.
Well, they've been around so much longer.
And they're playing a long game, and they understand that if they can get us fighting against each other, they don't want to go to war with us.
No.
We have too much economy with them.
Yeah.
And too much trade with them. They don't want to go to war with us, but if they can control us and get us fighting against each other and getting us to start thinking about what's going on in our country, and then how much land have they bought in our country?
A lot.
A whole lot.
And a lot of it they're buying next to armed services bases and things. That's scary.
Why would we do it?
Why would we let that happen?
But here's the deal. And I heard a guy from Texas talking to Will Kane yesterday, talking about AI and talking about data centers, and we have a huge shortage of cattle in our country right now. And he said one reason is because it's urban sprawl, And also, data centers are taking over large portions of where they want to build them is out in the middle of nowhere, and they want flat land, and they need resources. And he said, we are at a horrible spot of lack of cattle in this country. He said the cow-calf operation is not getting the money that they need, and the people that the sellers, the feedlots aren't getting enough. He said it's horrible. He said we're still not bringing them up from Mexico like we used to do. But the thing is that with data centers, that's just more money. So if I got some a concern from China, and I've got 600 acres, and it's in nowhere, Iowa, and I'm not making my money on cattle anymore like I should, and corn is being subsidized or whatever, and I'm just tired. John Deere says I can't work on my own equipment anymore. They've got to work on it. They just repealed that, by the way.
Yeah.
So they fixed that. But the farmer is being subsidized because we need them, but they're becoming conglomerates.
We're feeding the world.
Yeah, we're feeding the world. But here's the deal. Here's my point. If China comes in and says, I'll buy you 600 acres for, names a premium price, and you're one guy, you're going to say, man, I can retire on that.
Hey, Ping Chong.
Yeah.
Come offer me something for this, see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love what I do. I do, man.
I can't help if it's near a nuclear silo.
Yeah.
And so we're being compromised. And, for a long time I thought that I had tinfoil on my helmet, I said, I'm just dreaming this stuff up.
I'm a conspiracy theorist, and, no.
Yeah.
No, this is really happening.
Yeah.
Do you know who the largest landowner in Arkansas is?
Yeah, one man.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Why?
Well, Bill Gates wants to control all the food.
Yeah, that and data centers.
And data centers.
He wants to control the food.
Yeah.
But what scares me about that,
he wants us to eat bugs, though,
is he was part of that group that, came back and said, the world would be best if we were at about 500 million people.
Yeah. And we're bumping 400 million in the United States.
Yeah. So if you're telling me we need to get rid of the rest of the world, I'm fine with that.
But not us.
As
Yeah.
a matter of fact,
me and mine and no more.
If we got rid of all the rest of them, now we got plenty of land. We got some people we can send over there. Y'all go over there.
You're talking about the way that people are thinking now. I heard a guy that said, talking about open borders, he said, we need to quit sending all these people. He said, if they're wanted in their country, let's just put them in jail. I said, well, hold on. Y'all said we didn't want it. We weren't going to have any jails.
Yeah, y'all want to defund the police and
no jails.
And no jails. Yeah.
And no ICE. Come on, man.
You can't have it both ways, baby. You can't have it both ways. That's like going home and telling your wife, hey, I love you and we're going to be married forever, but if you see me down here with the lady down the street, don't think anything about it.
So a guy, and we renewed my TikTok feed the other day.
Yeah.
It didn't work. I still get all the same stuff.
Well, because you look at the same stuff.
Well, no, but I wasn't looking at it then. Anyway, so he's talking on his phone. Yeah. No, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to. What? We can have a nice supper. Said, where you want to go? He said, okay. And his wife's standing there going, who are you talking to? And he's going, said, yeah, I'll meet you there about 7:00. Yeah, that'd be fine. She goes, who are you talking to? She says, oh, it's a friend. Who? Oh, it's just a new friend. What kind of friend? Oh, it's a lady that I met. She goes, what makes you think you can go out with a lady that you just met? Says, oh, well, I thought that was okay in this marriage because I saw your page on the dating app, so I just thought maybe that's what we were doing now. But she said it was okay for her.
Yeah,
but not
it's
for
okay
him.
for you. Yeah. That's
the old thing.
Well, that's a whole different thing I'm not going to get into.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But then, so I've got those cheating things. But back to what we were talking about, Sandy, is that we need to wake up. Years ago we said, we called ourselves the silent majority, and we were because we were out working while other people were protesting, and you got people that are calling white supremacists that are giving money to white supremacists to make them do bad things to show that they're white supremacists.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You've got people on the left, the political left, who are funding the people that they supposedly abhor, so that those people will have the money to go out and be publicly doing the things they do. And they say, see what they're doing? Yeah, but they're doing it because you paid them.
It's proven.
You've paid them. It's...
Tell me what all the millions of dollars that Black Lives Matter raised, tell me what they've done with that money.
Well, other than buy a few people some houses, some $4.95 million houses.
Tell me what they've done. I'll wait. Like you say, I'll wait.
That's not even alleged either.
No, it's not
That's
alleged.
not alleged. I'm not, it's not hearsay.
No.
This is not speculation.
No. So every time there's a protest now, and the protesters who were there an hour ago, it was an empty street. Now there's bricks on a pallet.
Yeah.
Signs are already
signs
made.
Printed up.
There's gasoline. There's Molotov
cocktails.
Already there. These are proven things. These are not, this isn't supposition.
No.
I was having a conversation earlier this week with a politician, and they asked me to go look at some social media feeds for them, and I did. And I said, "Are you really concerned about that?" And they said, "Well, no, but if this is the kind of thing that's being said," I said, "Well, to me, if I were in your position and I were asked about it, there's a lot of supposition there.
Yeah.
If this, then maybe this, then if that, maybe this." I said, the easiest way to stop that is say, well, none of that happened.
Yeah.
So, but this isn't supposition we're talking about. These are things that have been now factually proven.
Mm-hmm.
I am so interested to see what happens this fall, because the Democrat Socialists of America have taken over the Democratic Party. We've been saying for years they were trying to. Well, they actually have now.
Yes, they have.
I mean, they're over there. They're literally they can't wait to run AOC for president. I'm just telling you, I could run a special ed student against her and beat her. She's that bad. She goes to the over to Germany or France. Germany is where they had that big meeting.
Mm-hmm. Made a complete fool of herself.
Made a total ass of herself because she got asked one question,
that she couldn't answer. And
it wasn't that hard.
Mm-mm.
And it was, and I don't remember the exact question, but it was basically, what goes on with I almost remember the question, but it was simple. And she stammered around there, stumbled around there for 2.5 minutes and never did give an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to remember that it's a very
complicated issue.
It's a very complicated issue.
And I'm not real good with foreign affairs.
You went to a foreign affairs conference. Though.
Yeah.
You have to know you're going to get asked about this. And especially when you're a darling of the left, you're going to get lots of TV time.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell you what books I'm listening to. I just finished, I almost said Kellyanne Conway. No, Megyn Kelly, who was at Fox News and now has her own thing going. And, the throwdown between her and the Trump administration, starting with the 2016 debate, and the people that were threatening her life.
Yeah.
And, now she and Trump made up. They kissed and made up. And, here's what if you just remember this about Donald Trump, the man is an entertainer. And you can hate his guts and you can wish him all the ill in the world, but you can never take this one thing away from him. He knows people. And he knew by having this constant back and forth, well, it was just a fourth. There was no back with Megyn Kelly, that it kept him on the top of mind of every Fox viewer there was. And they had more viewers than anyone. And what was Donald Trump's weak spot when he entered that race? People didn't believe he was a conservative. So what do? You make sure that you're on the top of everyone's mind on the conservative news channel, Fox News. And he did that masterfully. Now, he abused that, in my opinion, and it nearly cost Megyn Kelly her life. And I don't think there's an I'm sorry great enough to make up for it. But if you just remember when you think about it, his whole talk about running for a third term.
Yeah, that's
he does that just to piss off the left,
yeah,
right?
he does that
just so they'll, because listen, every single time he says, well, unless I run for a third term, which I can.
And he knows he knows he's jerking. He's jerking their chain.
But every time he says that, Twitter lights up like you wouldn't believe. Dictator, he's going to declare martial law. You know how long I've been hearing that, by the way? In 1992, Bill Clinton defeated George H.W. Bush to take over the presidency. Back then, I started hearing, well, Bush was head of the CIA, and they're gonna implement martial law and not let there be an inauguration. Bush is just going to take over. Well, then in 2000, when Clinton couldn't run anymore, and Bush beat Gore, start hearing again. Well, Clinton's he's already talked to Boutros by golly, at the UN, and the UN people. We saw UN forces on the interstate today. They're fixing to declare martial law.
They're building camps.
That's right. And then when it was George W. Bush, when he got ready to leave, listen, nobody wanted out of Washington D.C. faster than George W. Bush. He didn't want to stay. Look at those last 2 years he ran the country. You could tell he didn't want to be there. And they said the same thing about Obama, that he was going to, that Acorn and BLM were going to come in and they were going to take over these white school districts and neighborhoods and blah, 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 blah. And all
it's
that.
always the fear factor.
Yeah. And none of those things have ever happened. Now, maybe it does. Maybe Donald Trump does. Maybe he does it. Well, I think I'm better than anyone on the ticket, so I'm just going to stay here. But I don't think that's going to happen.
No, because you can't.
Well,
he says, well, I didn't run 2 consecutive ones.
Yeah, and that's not how it works at all.
But that's what he'd say.
I know that's what he says.
I'm not saying what's right or the law. That's what he'd, I had one here, then I skipped one, and so this is one again. This is 1A.
For a guy who loses at the Supreme Court as much as he does, he probably should step back just a little bit from saying what he thinks law is. His track record of the Supreme Court is not very good.
No, he lost some this week too.
Yeah. They're like, Mr. President, sorry.
Yeah. Although she can't remember where it was or what year or what store it was at. We're not going to set that aside. You still owe her $30 million or whatever it was.
Yeah. So I finished Megyn Kelly's book.
Yeah.
And then the next one that was recommended for me is the one by our current governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And I have my own issues with some things from the Sanders camp, but listening to what she went through as press secretary for Donald Trump is almost unforgivable.
It is. I mean, going into restaurants and people,
I just got to that part where she got thrown out of a restaurant because just of who she is.
Yeah.
And then the restaurant owner followed her across town to the restaurant she and her family went to.
Did they?
Yeah. Well, actually, she didn't go. Her and her husband said, we're just going back to our hotel.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So it was his family. They go to a different restaurant to eat, right? The owner of this restaurant that had just thrown her out for no reason whatsoever goes over there and starts protesting at that restaurant for letting them eat there. Well,
I didn't hear that.
Then when word got back to Donald Trump, and he tweets about it, and all of a sudden the conservative army raises up. That restaurant had to close. The first one. Yeah. But the part that really jumped out to me. So Donald Trump did not go to the 2017 White House Correspondents' Dinner.
No.
Because he said, I'm going to be the butt of all the jokes anyway. Yeah. You don't need me there to do that.
Yeah.
So in 2018, he also declined to go, but he said, I will send someone from the administration. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders gets nominated. She's going to be the one to go. So when it's announced that she's going to go, the keynote speaker, which was a comedian by the name of Michelle Wolf, tweets, "Oh, look, Sarah's going to finally get a date to a prom." And now look, Sarah's not a looker, but she's not ugly. She's cute. She's girl next door cute.
Yeah.
You know, but Sarah's finally going to get a date to the prom. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders calls the president of the White House Correspondents Association and says, "Look, I want to come, but if the whole night is going to be, her bashing me, I don't want to be there for that. If you want to bash me
a little bit
professionally, it's one thing. If you want to say I'm a liar behind the podium and all that, that's one thing. But every attack so far has been personal. It's been my looks, my weight, my hair. I'm an unfit mother because I work, and she just goes down the list and she's like, I'm not interested." Well, the president of the White House Correspondents Association says, no, I've just talked to her because I saw the tweet too. And she said she'd love for you to be there because she plans to say some very nice things about you. She admires you as a working mom. And so Sarah's like, okay, great. And so they go. Now she's sitting on the dais. So her husband has to sit somewhere else.
Yeah.
He got invited to the Vanity Fair table and he's sitting at the table for Vanity Fair. She said, so I knew where he was, but I couldn't see him because the lights that were in her eyes. And she said, and then the comedian comes out, the keynote speaker, and first right out of the box, she's all over Sarah. And and it's all personal. It's not professional. It's personal. And, and she's, basically Sarah's a whore. Sarah, she got her position by sleeping her way there. And Sarah said, what I did and what I wanted to do were two different things. What I wanted to do was stand up, throw my glass of wine in her face, and march off the stage. Yeah. She said, but of course the next day it would be, oh, Sarah couldn't handle a little ribbing, a little joshing around from, she said, so I didn't. I just sat there and I took it. And she said, when it was over, I wanted nothing more than to drive to our house and go home. She said, but I determined, we got invited to the NBC after party. We're going to the NBC after party. And, very telling. If you ever look up that video of that White House Correspondents' Dinner, it's the 2018 White House Correspondents' Dinner. Michelle Wolf. Look at how few laughs she was getting by the end of her routine. She was getting more gasps than laughs. And Sarah said she had no less than 100 reporters come up to her in the after party and said that's not cool. That's uncalled for.
Even if we don't agree with you.
And some of them said, look, if they want to attack you professionally, it's part of the game, Sarah.
Yeah.
We all know, And she said, there's people she's never had. Alscott, what's his name? He's a CNN reporter.
Acosta.
Jake Acosta. Isn't it Jake? I think. Don Acosta said, she said, no one can accuse us of being friends, as much as they went back and forth in the press briefings. And she said, he come up and was like, that's not cool. Yeah. And incidentally, the White House Correspondents Association president lost her job over that.
Mm. You know who it is this coming year? Jackie Heinrich from Fox News.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's, but she was picking up her kids one day. And she rarely got to do that as White House press secretary, because she talked about how many times okay, I'm going to be home about 5:45 and we're going to have dinner with so and so at 6:30, and I'm going to run in, I'm going to change real quick and we can go. And at 6:15 she's calling her husband saying, I'm not going to leave here tonight. I'm going to be here all night. Can you bring me a change of clothes? Because some dictator in some other part of the world did something stupid, and now she's stuck there. She's talked about one time they had this whole weekend planned to get away, just her and her husband, and they're going to go off together and blah, blah, blah. And said, President Trump called her and said, I need you to come to my office. And so she walks in there. He said, I need you to go get on the helicopter. We're going to go to Florida. And she's like, and just like that.
I'm heading to Florida.
I'm going to Florida. And she said, and I was there for 11 days. No clothes, nothing packed. She has to buy clothes while she's there.
And everything.
Yeah, everything. She has to buy toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant,
makeup.
She said, I learned to keep a stash bag in my office, a
go bag.
A go bag, yeah. She talked about how many times the press would talk about how oh, Sarah's makeup's really dark today. She said, because I had to borrow some from someone else because I've been here all night. She said, those are not the things I'm going to talk about.
And there was a time, Sandy, in your lifetime, in mine as well, where people were proud to be Americans. And if you waved the flag and if you held a flag in your front yard, you weren't saying something bad. People say now that if you fly the flag, those people that they talk to on campus, well, that's white supremacy. You flying that flag.
I don't get it,
and I don't get it. And they have made us not ashamed, but they've made it to where they make fun.
They try to shame
you for being patriotic.
I want to make sure this camera's on me. There's no question that local attorney Matt Thomas and I politically are rarely ever going to agree on anything.
Yeah.
But I can tell you a couple of things about Matt Thomas, and he may say the same things about me. I don't know what he thinks of me. Matt's a great dad.
Yeah.
He's a fabulous dad.
Yeah.
And Matt is proud to be an American.
He is.
Now, while our politics don't line up.
Yeah, he has a different idea about it.
Yes. And you know what? I love that. I love and respect that he has a different view. I can't say that Matt's ever taught me something, and he'll probably never say I've taught him anything, but I've never questioned his patriotism. I've never one time questioned his patriotic spirit.
And he won't shout you down.
No.
Anybody that goes to a college campus today and tries to have a dialogue with anybody gets shouted down. Why are you on my campus?
Yes.
If you're the religious right, you're definitely going to get hollered at and screamed at and maybe physically abused. And they don't want you there.
Can we finally move past the conspiracy theories of Charlie Kirk's death?
I hope so.
Can we get past the fact that supposedly his wife had him killed?
His wife didn't have him killed.
I have lost so much respect for Candace Owens.
Candace has gone down a rabbit hole that I just don't understand. At one time, I really respected what she had to say.
I did too.
She had some very good insights into what was going on in our country. And borderline, I'm thinking, ooh, man, is that really going on? But then something clicked. Something went wrong. Because she worked for Charlie, and then she's become a conspiracy theorist and has perpetuated the.
Did she ever work for Charlie? I know she worked for Ben Shapiro.
She purported she didn't work. She didn't get a check from him,
but she advised him.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just seeing clips out of context. But man, if what I'm seeing is between Israel and Charlie Kirk's wife,
Netanyahu had him killed.
They conspired to kill Charlie Kirk. I just hope we don't live in a country like that. I can't imagine that we live. I guess the data could come out one day that would prove that, but I'll count me among the most shocked if that's the case. I'm just telling you, when they had that memorial service for Charlie Kirk and Boomer, if you watched that memorial service and you didn't feel in the atmosphere what was going on, you need to check your situation.
The Spirit of God was there.
You need to check between you and him, because he says, my sheep will know my voice. I knew what I felt in the atmosphere. There was something happening. There was something going on. There was a move of the Spirit of the Lord that I've never experienced on a nationwide level.
Yeah.
We've always prayed, God, bring revival to America.
And let it begin with me. Yeah.
And, well, I'd really rather begin with you. I'd rather you start it, and then I'll jump in at the end there if I need to. Yeah. But no,
get me on the third verse.
Yeah, I'll stand up then. But no, that you could tell something was happening. And again, if you couldn't, then perhaps your sensitivity to the Spirit of the Lord needs to be checked.
Well, then they said his wife was just. In situations like that is when you're closest. When you need him the most and you reach out to the Father, the Holy Spirit will just jump in the middle of it.
The Holy Spirit is a gentleman. One of my pastors explained to me one time, he said, here's what you need to understand, Sandy. The Holy Spirit is a gentleman. Mm-hmm. He will never intrude where he's not wanted.
No.
And conviction, yes. But if you ignore him enough times, it'll stop.
Mm-hmm.
Conviction will stop. But the Holy Spirit will never intrude where he's not welcome and not wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And, I heard all the same. Well, she didn't even seem sad. She didn't cry. She
was being girded or lifted up or held up or whatever.
That wasn't the moment. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's to use a scripture, there's a time under heaven for everything. Mm-hmm. There's a season. Mm-hmm. There's a purpose. There's a time for everything to happen.
Yeah.
And her crying.
The Birds wrote that verse.
Yeah, that's right. And that wasn't the time.
Yeah.
She needed to go portray to America that, hey, we're going to be okay.
And the movement.
Yeah. We're going to be okay. We're going to keep doing what Charlie wanted us to do. And, now, were there more people involved than that one kid with a rifle on the build? I don't know. But do I believe that Charlie's wife, and I don't remember her name, but do I believe she was involved with his death? No, I don't. I'll say this. If she was, and she allowed her husband to be killed with an exploding necklace, because that's the latest conspiracy, that she put on him this exploding necklace, and she allowed that to happen in front of her children, that would mean she is so demonic that it will manifest itself again. We don't have... I'll wait.
We don't have to worry about it.
It'll show right back up. That train is never late.
It's not going to.
No, it's not going to. And Erica, isn't that her name? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Erica. But I'm so ready to be past that, to be beyond that.
Yeah, the conspiracy of those.
Yeah,
things.
And incidentally, for those of you who are applauding and cheering the current polls that it looks like Benjamin Netanyahu is going to be defeated, do we need to remind y'all? You don't have to go that far back in history to read what Israel looked like every time Netanyahu got ousted. Now, look, do I believe he's divine? No, not even close. Do I believe that he's probably shady on a lot of levels? Yes, I do. But do I believe there's anything better for Israel than him? No, I really don't. And I was having a discussion with somebody recently, said, yeah, but you have to understand that the Israel today is not the Israel of the Bible. I said, whoa, I wasn't tasked with comparing the Israel of the Bible and the Israel of today. Here's what I was told. Those who bless you, I will bless. Those who curse you, I will curse. As a matter of fact, the Bible says if you would like prosperity, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. That's where it all comes down to. And unfortunately, and I've said this before, if they want peace in the Middle East, all that has to happen is Hamas and the PLO and Hezbollah, all they have to do is stop shooting at Israel, and there will be peace.
They're not going to.
But if Israel ever lays down their weapons, there will be no Israel.
Exactly.
That fast. From the river to the sea, remember that?
Yeah.
That's their caliphate. I mean, that's their motto. We will not rest until every Jew is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's called genocide. And so of all the things you can accuse people in America of, one of the things that you can't accuse us of, not with any credibility, is genocide. Have there been times where we've done things that was messed up to minorities? Yes, there has. But that stuff doesn't happen today. It just does not happen. You and I were talking before, the people who, after Barack Obama got elected the first time in 2008, there were people who said, oh, well, I'm not even going to have to go to work anymore. He's going to pay my bills.
Going to pay my bills.
There was
they interviewed a girl from Atlanta that said that on TV.
And there was a kid that went to school with my daughter that didn't understand. She said, I'm late to school today because my mama's car out of gas. I thought we elected Obama. I don't know what those two things have to do with each other, but she seriously,
in her mind,
had connected. Well, we should never have to buy gas again.
Yeah, that all my bills will be paid.
All my bills are going to be paid, and I'm not going to need any baby daddies because my bill's going to be paid because Obama's in there. And, you know, the part of it was, Boomer, was this, that we watched all that happen and didn't realize that we had entire generations that were raised being told stories that, well, you know, the white folks got all the money. They got a secret stash of money. Well, if we do, can somebody tell me where it's at? And all of that goes back to what I was saying a while ago, is like, just know who you are. Don't worry about who I am. If you know who you are, then you can be comfortable in your skin. And I know it sounds cliche, but you've got to love you first before anybody else can love you. And that's something that, you know, I said last week about, you know, I was 360 pounds at one point, and you don't get that way because you have your crap together. One of the first things I had to learn was how to love me. And it's amazing how much my life changed when I learned how to love me. And it's amazing how much of that baggage and that crap and those, or you can call it inner demons or whatever you want to call it, how much of that I was able to shed when I learned how to love me for who I am.
Yeah.
And I learned how to give me grace.
Yeah.
I expect God to give me grace, but I wasn't giving myself any. And once you learn how to give yourself grace, it's an amazing freedom that I had never experienced up to that point. You know, Boomer, there was a time where I cared what people thought. And I'm not saying that in a cavalier way. Well, I don't care what people think, but I really don't care what people think. And the reason I don't care is because they don't matter. I'm worried about my wife and my kids. If my wife and my kids understand why I am the way I am or why I'm doing something I'm doing, I don't really care what everyone else thinks. I don't want to disappoint people, obviously, but I don't care.
It's maybe you should say it's not important.
It's not important. Exactly right. Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. Someone was laughing. They called me the other day and said, "Man, I was watching your podcast," and Boomer said, "Well, I don't want to be offended." And you said, "Well, don't."
Yeah.
And they said, is it really that simple for you? I said, 100%. I said, that's no joke. That's not hyperbolic. That's really how I live my life. Then don't be. And I said, when I say, unless I find out you're hurting my wife or my children, you don't matter enough to me to offend me. I don't give you permission to offend me. And, you know, take the opposite side of that. There's people who walk around waiting to be offended every day. Well, you're giving so much power to other people. And I just don't do that. So
that's a good position to be in.
Well, it is. It's very freeing.
It is freeing.
It is a level of freedom, again, that when you experience it, you're like, oh, okay. And, you know, I've gotten the constant over the last few years. I get the whole, well, you intimidate people. I don't intend to. If I intend to intimidate you, you'll know. You'll know I intend to.
I had a guy that, you know, my company worked for him, and he got on to me bad one time, and it offended me. I was very offended, and somebody that was in his same position came up to me and said, "Troy," said, "he doesn't even think about you."
Yeah,
he does that to everybody. Said, in fact, I said, I grant you, he doesn't know your name.
Yeah, it wasn't personal.
It wasn't personal because I said,
he's just an ass.
I grant you, he doesn't even know your name.
Yeah.
So the next time that he, you know, he called my company. Here was the deal. We were owned by the mother company, and we were two equal companies that we did work for him. He's the drilling rig, and we were the service company. And he called me in the middle of the night and was hollering and calling me names. And I called him. I said, "Joe," I said, "let me ask you something." I said, was any of that going, you know, they had twisted off in the hole and they needed a fisherman. I said, was any of that Cherokee Services fault or my fault? Well, no. I said, well, you know, I'm working for the company that's going to get you out of trouble for what your people did. And I said, besides, I said, man, I'm tenderhearted. I said, you holler at me like that. I said, I'm liable to cry. The next morning, he was at he was at our office, and I wasn't even the head of that store. And he walked in the front. He said, "Where's this Troy guy at?" And I'm out there in my coveralls, greasing tools or whatever. And he come out. He wanted to meet me because I'd called him on it, and just instead of being scared or offended or hurt or whatever, I just kind of called
Made him think about it.
Made him think about it. I said, "Man, just said, you hollering at." I said, "I'm trying. You're calling the person that's going to fix what y'all messed up." Yeah. And I said, "You're hollering at me."
And there's just people.
And some people, that's just them.
That's just how they are, right? Yeah. My first wife, she had an aunt that was just cantankerous, and that's the only way I know to put it without using the B word. She's just cantankerous.
Blessed.
And that's a B word. That is a B word, yeah. And I just remember thinking, I don't live my life that way.
Yeah.
I can't live my life constantly mad or angry or upset
or looking for the bad.
And I just don't understand people who are constantly the victim, or every inconvenience is a personal affront to them. I have a very good friend, and I love this guy and his family. But man, anytime something happened that was inconvenience to them or something that they just didn't agree with, it was a personal affront to their family. And by gosh, you were off the reservation at that point. They were done with you.
Yeah.
And I just can't live my life that way.
Yeah.
I say this a lot. I tell my kids all the time, I say, one thing Boomer taught me. That's why they make Fords and Chevrolets. Mm-hmm. You told me that a number of times. Mm-hmm. Sandy, that's why they make Fords and Chevrolets, because some people like something.
Some people don't want a Ford.
That's right. And so there,
not many.
there are people out there who are just that way, and I don't know how you live your life like that. I can't wake up every day and think, well, this is as good as today's going to get. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And oh dear God, I woke up again. I can't live my life like that. And
or if God says that, oh dear God.
Yeah.
Oh dear me.
Yeah, dear me.
Troy's awake.
But if I see you at the grocery store and you don't speak to me, I just assume you were busy. Maybe you were on the phone on your earbud. Maybe you got a lot on your mind. I don't go home and say, well, I guess they don't like me.
I've had people message me or message Martha and say, well, is there something wrong? Are y'all mad at us for something? Well, no. I said, well, I had a post and you didn't like it.
That's putting way too much importance on your social media. Now, if I walk up to you and say, hey, Boomer, how's it going? You're like, yeah, I'm all right. And you turn and walk off. That's different.
Yeah, that's different.
But if I see you at the other end of the aisle, and we don't end up speaking, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. I get it. There's different personalities, different people, and that's part of why people say, well, Sandy, you intimidate people. I don't intend to intimidate anyone. or you come across as arrogant. I'm self-assured, but again, it's because the people who matter. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel the need to impress anyone else. I've not always been that way. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I really do. I'm not going to say the least. I am one of the least judgmental people you'll ever meet, because, you go through some stuff and all of a sudden you realize this could happen to anybody, mm-hmm. And I
but for the grace of God,
the grace of God. Right. And, there's things I've done in my life that the only reason that I'm able to have the life today that I have is because God's mercy.
Exactly.
And I've wanted to say this on the podcast before. There's a difference between grace and mercy. Grace is receiving something that you were not, you should not get. Mercy is not getting what you should get.
Yeah, that's mercy.
And it's only because of the mercy of God that I've not gotten what I should have gotten plenty of times.
Exactly.
And, but I just don't, and I realize there are people who don't think that way and believe that way, and that's fine. But don't think of me as being cocky or arrogant or intimidating as much as what you think of me doesn't really, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to. So
exactly.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy with me. Do I want to be better? Oh, you better believe I do.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, my kids will ask me every now and then, how do you know when you've met the one? And I don't know about for everybody else. I can't speak, and I tell them that. I can't speak for everybody else. But for me, when I wake up every day and realize I need to be a better person than I was yesterday because she deserves it, that's when you know.
Well, I grew up almost like an only child.
Yeah, because you were baby.
I was the baby and 8 years younger than my sister. And so, by the time she was finished high school, I was like third or fourth grade.
Yeah.
She was married and gone when they went to college. So an only child has a tendency to being self-absorbed because
everything's been about you.
Yeah, and there's no one to share it. You don't have to share anything with anybody. And so, I had to learn that as an adult that, you're just not thinking of, you're self-centered. And I had to hear those and listen to those hard conversations. And, how do you, and you said, how do you know someone's the one? When it's all consuming, when you meet somebody and you're consumed with them.
You could care less about you.
Yeah. It's just them.
Yeah.
And, the more years that Martha and I spend, the more I want to do, I see her doing, and I want to do more to make her life easier and trying to, what can I do to help you? And I've learned to say that a lot more because she's going to be always doing something. What can I do to help you? What can I do to, I get up real early. Not because I want to, it's because, old people get up early. So I try to go to bed. I'm at 9 o'clock. I'm thinking about I'm wanting to be I'm sleepy. I may have fallen asleep. And
Boomer's in his gown.
I'm in my gown. I'm in my drawers. And so last night Martha was cooking late, and I went in there and I saw all those dirty dishes, and I'm thinking, God, I don't want to do those dirty dishes. And I said, what can I do for you, Martha? She says, could you wash all? She said, I'd love it if you'd wash the dishes. So I washed off the dishes, and she says, you just don't know how much that helps when you just have a little bit of help. And so now Martha doesn't have to get up at, she can sleep in the morning, doesn't have to. She's retired. She spent her time.
Yeah, she's paid her dues.
So she can sleep till 8:30, 9 o'clock, or if she wants to sleep till 10 o'clock, that's fine too.
But by God, by 10:30.
By 10:30, she's up and at 'em, baby. No, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. But I want her to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And so, like you say, if someone, how do you know someone's the one? Well, it finally gets past all that. I just want them on me and around me and in me and on, it gets past all that physical stuff to where you just, and hopefully it'll do that quickly in a relationship to where you can see, I just want to make their life easier and better. And, that's when you know. And we went far afield from the political stuff we were talking about.
Yeah, but
it's some true stuff that makes you a better person. And I think, if we can do a podcast that's funny and people get to write in and they get to laugh a little bit, and that's good. But the true test of someone is am I doing something to help my fellow man become a better person?
Very good example.
Yeah.
So when we were talking earlier about 40% of Americans going into debt to buy school supplies.
Yeah.
And then I went through the 7 baby steps of Dave Ramsey's Path to Financial Freedom. I almost didn't do that, but I thought about it. I thought, we love to make jokes and make people laugh, and we love when clips go viral. Yeah. That's all fun. That's a little badge for us. But what are we doing for our viewers? What are we doing for our listeners? What are we doing for them?
Of significance.
Of significance, right. Other than maybe giving them a brief respite from whatever life's handing them that day, a chance to laugh, okay? Well, that's why I did that. One of those things is just that, hey, there is a better financial path.
Yep.
And to at least tell them about it. And it's up to them if they want to go do it or whatever. I'm not going to preach Dave Ramsey's, financial freedoms to you. But I tell you what they are, and you can go look it up and learn about it, and if you want to, or don't. It's up to you.
Yep.
But I'm like you. We need to give back. And, Boomer, it's men, when men pick mates, 90+% of the time, the number one criteria for a man is, how does she look on my arm? Overall, we just don't want to marry an ugly one, right? Now, what's beautiful to one person may not be beautiful to another, but there's a reason that that's beautiful to them. And, but you're right. It goes past that. It goes beyond just the outward beauty. My wife is not very emotional. And it drives me crazy. She's not going to, even when she's upset, she's not going to get very emotional about it. She's going to tell you she's upset and you can fix it or don't. Doesn't matter to her. But I am a little more emotional than that. And so when she does or says something that really hits me, I am 100% sure to voice that to her. Hey, when you said that earlier, that meant everything to me. She sent me a text one day, a couple weeks ago, and I don't even remember what it was about. But I literally choked up. And it wasn't a choke up worthy text, but knowing her the way I know her, for her to go to that level to say that, and I just texted her, I said, that right there means more to me than anything else you could say or do.
Martha and I, since I go to bed a lot earlier than she does, we'll text back and forth.
Yeah.
She'll send me a reel.
My wife and I do the same thing.
She'll send me a reel and then we'll talk about it.
I'll wake up some mornings, I have 2 or 3 of them from her, from my wife.
So
not from Martha. Martha's not sending me reels in the middle of the night.
But I'm sending
her some.
But I'm sending you stuff late.
Yeah.
Late for me.
Yeah.
I know 11:30 doesn't bother you, but
Yeah, it's getting more and more though. Yeah. One of the great things about having this facility, having this office, when the office was in my bedroom, the old baby nook in my master bedroom, well, it was real easy. I could lay around all morning, look at my phone here and there, and get up and do a few things on the computer, and then go get my phone again. And I actually have a recliner in the bedroom as well. I get on my Xbox and play a little bit, and I'd put that down. I'd go do a few more things with work.
That's that working at home thing. That's what happens.
Yeah. Well, I can't do that here. I get up in the morning. I come into the office,
get dressed.
I have to get dressed.
Shave.
I can't be in my drawers. Yeah, I got to brush my teeth. And I like it a lot more. I like it a lot better because it puts structure,
regiment,
regiment in my life. And there's days I come in and it's nothing of huge significance, but I have a project maybe I started yesterday, and I'm going to get done with it today. And so I come in, I get started on that. And the thing about video and editing, a lot of times when you're rendering video, making it to where it goes from raw video into a produced video that you can put on YouTube or on Facebook or on the web or whatever it is you're wanting to do with it. That many times shuts my computer. My computer becomes useless to me because I can't do anything else while it's rendering video.
Oh, I got you.
I can, but I don't like to tax my computer like that.
It's slowing it down.
Yeah, it's using a whole lot of resources to do what I'm having it do. Because again, we're not talking about something that's a couple hundred meg. We're talking about something that's a couple hundred gig.
Okay.
And that computer, you'll hear them fans on that computer.
They'll kick on.
Sound like a weed eater. So all of a sudden I'm just sitting here. Well, I've learned now, I kind of have a regimen about that as well. That's when I get my guitar out. And
you need another computer.
Yeah, I guess I could. I could have another computer and just keep working. But I seem to like, getting my guitar out
and having a little,
having just 10 or 15 minutes sometimes to pick and play. And, this video I'll render from this. It'll take about 54 to 60 minutes. And, I'll probably start it before I go home tonight. And then I'll come in the morning and then I'll start editing it out, and making it into usable material. But, it's that regiment. and I say all I have to say, the same thing happens in relationships. The difference is you can't get so caught up in the regimen of it all that you're not looking around at the same time, because what's a regiment to you may feel like a pit to them. It may feel like, just a ditch, a grave.
Yeah,
them.
You're just walking it through, and you're not really putting any.
Yeah, you're doing it basically in your sleep, and so those are the things we have to be careful of in relationships. And God knows I can't give anyone relationship advice. I failed it at the first marriage, and if you ask my wife today, maybe I'm not doing that good at this one. I don't know. She might say I'm doing great. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I am, but that doesn't mean, I also feel like I'm handsome and svelte and I'm not.
But Karate Man don't bruise on the outside. He don't bruise eye. Yeah.
Karate Man bruise on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Barry White looking. It's a shame that almost every one of my kids can quote that scene. Every one of my kids, and most of my kids can quote The Sopranos. So, I'm losing as a dad.
Well, Martha and I want to tell you, we can go into a diatribe about Smokey the Bandit. We can give you most of the movie.
A Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper.
And make it in a hell of a hurry.
Yeah. I guess, we all have those, So, for example, 1 year in Spanish, I think it was Micah's senior year in Spanish, they had to do a monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's something you wrote or someone else wrote, but it has to be all in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And so she did the opening monologue to the movie Goodfellas in Spanish. For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a gangster. And he goes through, if you go watch the beginning of the movie Goodfellas, that whole opening monologue is like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And she did the whole
he's talking
thing.
over a whole bunch of stuff.
She did the whole thing in Spanish. And that was her monologue for that class. And, but does that make me parent of the year? No. No. The fact that my kids, if I say funny how, they'll be like a clown.
Like a clown?
Yeah.
Funny
I
how?
amuse you. Every one of my kids can tell you that.
Well, we've said before, I can remember every joke, but I can't remember that many scriptures. Well, someone the other day says, well, that's because all the scriptures aren't funny. I said, well, that's true.
Yeah. I can remember 2 Peter 3:16.
What does it say?
A dumb ass speaking with a man's voice. Talking about Balaam's donkey.
Yeah.
But it's a dumb ass speaking with a man's voice. I can remember that one.
So we had in one of the Christmas things that we did one year. So, someone said ass. Well, all the little 12-year-olds. Yeah, they said ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly, someone poots.
Yeah.
Or says ass or.
Yeah. I'm not the person you want to be sitting next to during a serious part of the church service.
No.
Because one time we had a visiting preacher come in the church, and it's me and Lewis and John, my two cousins. We're all sitting there on the pew together.
Y'all are young people.
Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may have been 12, 13. And the preacher, the guest minister who was preaching was talking about Job. He was talking about Job and the boils. And he was scraping the boils off, Except he said, and man, did Job have some balls. Well, I'm sorry, at 12 years old, when you say that, I don't care if we're in church or not.
You're going to laugh out loud.
It's coming out. It's a spontaneous utterance that's going to relieve itself from my body. And I'm like, and I throw my head down as fast as I can, and I can feel my daddy, mama, papa, Breland, and Betty. They're looking at me. Sorry.
He just. That's the way he said boils.
No, he misspoke. He didn't mean to say balls, but man, did Job have some balls. And you might as well have said wiener and buns. I mean, I was at that age, and I had to get up and leave the church service. Well, guess what? John and Lewis followed me out, both of them laughing and crying at the same time because I was laughing. I'm not the one you want to be sitting next to.
Y'all were in trouble.
Oh, you better believe it. I heard it all the way home from Mama, from Betty Lou. how disappointed she was in me. And I said, Mama, he said balls. And she said, it was a mistake. He just simply misspoke. I understand, but he still said it.
So, true story. I mean, that's a true story, obviously. Friend of ours is doing, we used to do children's church. Did y'all ever do that?
Yeah.
All the kids come up there and it's Christmas time. And he didn't say Jesus' resurrection. He said the word that kind of rhymes with resurrection.
That they make those little blue pills for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's no going back.
No, you can't take that back.
There was no going back.
That toothpaste out of the tube.
Then it was all the adults in the church.
Yes.
That were losing their minds. I don't know if he ever went back to that church or not, but he was a member. He wasn't a preacher.
One of my favorite parts about kids' movies, watching Toy Story or Up or Moana, or any of those, are the little Easter eggs that are in there for adults.
Yeah, little bitty things that they say.
So you go to a movie, we used to go to the movies a lot when the 1.0s were small because we lived next door to the movie theater.
Yeah, right there.
And we'd go to the movies a lot. And we'd go see these kids' movies. And the kids, the way they would look at me when I would laugh at something.
They're like, what are you laughing at?
What are you laughing at? I'm like, don't worry about it. Do you remember the movie Weird Science?
Yeah.
Where they created their own girl. Right? And do you remember?
Kelly LeBrock.
Yeah. Do you remember at one point that she tricked the dad of one of the kids to not remember, to lose his memory of what had just happened? And so his wife was like, Gary. And he's like, Gary, who's Gary? Our son, Gary. Well, fast forward 30 something years, and the 1.0s are pretty small, and we're watching a cartoon on Nickelodeon called The Fairly Odd Parents. And it's two fairies. There's a boy who gets picked on a lot, gets bullied a lot, and they're there to kind of help him through life. I don't even remember the situation, but something comes that says, Gary. And the other one looks and says, Gary, who's Gary? And I lost it.
You lost it.
I'm guffawing.
It's a recall from a movie from
30 something years ago. And the kids are looking at me, I'm like, okay, turn it off that.
Put it on
I think I actually had the VHS of Weird Science. And I put it in there. I was like, and we get there, and I was like, Gary, our son Gary? And they're like, oh, Dad. And I was like, right. That's why it was funny to me, And that's why go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
When they went to they were all going to take their girls out, and they went to that bar, and they were sitting at that round table, and the big black guy come and jerked it up off. They said, can we dance with your girls? You don't remember that part?
I don't remember that.
Oh man, he talked.
The guy you talking about, he said, "Man, you should remember the time."
Yeah, I do remember that.
Smoking a cigar and all that. Say, man, he was all of a sudden he's a black guy.
Yeah,
but at the beginning of that scene, this big black guy come and jerked the table up out of the ground and went, "Can we dance with your dates?" And I go,
"Oh yeah." Yeah, man, I remember that time.
I do remember that scene now.
And
yes,
he's smoking a cigar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's why, like, if I watch, if the kids are watching Bluey, the cartoon Bluey, there's so much for adults in there. And it's so fun to me to catch those little Easter eggs that are just the Minions. If you watch any of the Minions movies, it's more for the adults than it is the kids.
It is. That's why I enjoyed the Minions.
There's tons of things in there, and
because the only time they'll speak in where you can understand it is will be a little guffaw or a little Easter egg, like you called it.
There's I think it was in one of the Minions movies. One of the Minions had a big nose, and he dives in the water, and he comes up, and his nose shrinks, and basically it's like, well, it's cold, and we all know what that reference is, and I'm laughing, and the kids are like, When I was in sixth grade, Rich Little, you remember Rich Little, the impressionist. He had come out with his own version of A Christmas Carol, and he did all the different voices, Ronald Reagan, and we're all in it.
Johnny Carson.
Yeah. And so we're watching that. My music teacher had that movie, and he, right at Christmas, he wheels the VCR TV combo out, and he plays that movie for us. And it was my music teacher, 6th grade, and we watch it. Well, there's stuff that I'm laughing at that no one else in the class is laughing at. And I'm like, they didn't get that, you know? Well, later that day, I go to whatever class, social studies or whatever, and she says, hey, today we're going to go over to Mr. Peters' room, the music teacher, and he's got a Christmas Carol, and we're going to watch it. Well, I didn't say I'd already seen it that day. So
yeah, you just wanted to go watch it.
We go
watch
over
a
there
movie again.
We go over there. Well, this time it's the 8th grade math class, our music class, that we're watching. It's their room. We're watching it with them. And they're laughing at all the stuff I had laughed at earlier that none of the other 6th graders laughed at. And Mr. Peters, when that was over that day, he said, I was hoping you would be here for this class. And he said, did you realize that the stuff you were laughing at earlier, no one else laughed at? I said, I did. And he said, do you realize now that everybody's laughing at the same stuff you were laughing at in this class? And he said, these are 8th graders. You're a 6th grader.
Yeah, your life's experience.
He said your comedy level, your humor level is just above theirs. And I just wanted you to know that we noticed it. And, you know, don't feel bad. And I was like, oh, I didn't. But, you know, I also didn't understand why everybody else didn't get it. But, you know, looking back now, then that's the kind of difference there is between 6th and 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go from having no hair on your body to starting to grow hair. Your voice starts to change. Your hormones start to kick in. By 8th grade, you know, you've learned a fefew things, probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You know, I heard the one comedian say, we didn't have the internet when I was a kid. He said, but that's what the school bus was for. And he said, and those back 3 seats on the school bus, that was the dark web. He said, that's where you learn things you should never know. He said, I get off the school bus, Daddy, what's a menage a trois?
What'd you hear? Where'd you hear that?
On the back seat of the school bus. Yeah. But all right, Boom, that's going to do it, man.
All right, man.
I had a good time.
Good time. We had a good day with Mark Day.
Yeah,
good
yeah.
Day.
Absolutely.
He's
absolutely.
your second best Mark now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mark Matthews, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Now, I can't forget Guy Night. Man, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Episode of Cops one time. We're watching, I told you they come and they were telling the guy, hey, you got to go to jail. And he's like, okay, let me get my hat. And you can tell he's a blue collar worker, black guy, and he gets his hat. And he looks at her and he said, I may go to jail. I may even go to hell. But when I get out tomorrow, you better not be here. And she starts talking some mess, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And all the dinners I cook for you. He said, hold on a second. They got him cuffed. He said, he turned around and looked at us and said, when did you ever cook? I cook for you all the time. He said, baby, please name me one thing you've ever cooked. I made you some spaghetti. He's like, when did you make some spaghetti? And tater salad. And he's like, you ain't never one time made no potato salad. Ask your mama. He said, girl, you ain't never met my mama. You clowning for these cameras. And she was just, you know, trying to make stuff. For the cops cameras. And so I promise you, I could text Mark Matthews right now and say, I made some spaghetti. And the first thing he would text back is, girl, when did you ever make some spaghetti? Yeah, that was and then there was a prank show that would come on right after that. I don't remember what it was called, but they called this air conditioning company out. And the air conditioning guy gets to the house, and they do it to 3 or 4 different people, and the woman's like, hey, come on in. And she's got the remote and she's watching TV. She said, have you seen this? And he's like, no. And he's a black guy, and there's an escaped gorilla. And, you know, it's supposed to be in this area. Well, that's right where they are, you know. And she's like, oh my gosh, you know, and he's like, ooh, that sounds scary to me. I don't like that, you know. So he goes out there, he's working on the air conditioner, you know, putting the gauges on, he's testing meter, he got his meter out testing stuff, and the bushes shake. He's like, because, you know, a brother's not going to stick around. Mm-mm. So you better, if you're going to scare him, better do it quick, because he's not going to be there long. Yeah. Then bushes shake. He's like, and he's over here, he's working on this stuff. He keeps watching. And then bushes shake again. And he's like, who down in them bushes? So again, I could text Mark Matthews right now and say, Who dat in them bushes?
In them bushes.
And so before the guy in the gorilla costume could ever even jump out, dude was gone.
He was gone.
Left his equipment, gauges tools, meters, all up. He was gone. Yeah. That van, they had an outside camera of that van. Not today.
What is the name of that show? I know what show.
It was like Candid Camera, but it wasn't Candid Camera. Yeah. But my favorite Candid Camera episode, by the way, involves my friend, former sheriff Rodney Arbuckle, who, when he was a deputy in Texas, and he was on a border county. So he's right there at the Texas-Louisiana border in a little place they call Deadwood. And he's standing there, he's like, hold up, please, hold up. And he walks, he says, sorry, y'all, Texas is full. And they're like, well, we just live. He said, I understand. Hang on. All right, dude. How many of y'all's in here? 4? Okay, 3 people just left El Paso, so one of you's got to get out and wait on this side. Y'all can just pull across the line and wait for them, but you better hurry before somebody comes in up at the Panhandle.
Are you kidding me?
And so they kicked.
This is Candid Camera?
Yes, they kicked like their 15-year-old daughter out of the van.
Made her stand on
the side of the road in Louisiana, and they pull over to the side of the road, and the next car puller said, "Sorry, folks, Texas is full. We got a waiting list here. She's the next one in." And I mean, had people messed up. What do you mean?
And doing it.
Yeah, and doing it. And what do you mean Texas is full? He said, I don't know. Governor said Texas was full. And so we got to wait for somebody to leave.
Got to wait for somebody to leave.
Got to wait for somebody to leave. And he's like, oh, dang it. He said, they done let somebody in down at Beaumont. I'm going to let you go across. And and people were just like, okay, just sitting there. Yeah. Look that up. Look that up. Candid Camera, Texas is full.
That is hilarious.
That's my buddy Rodney Arbuckle.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's hilarious. And I asked him, I said, what'd they pay you for that? He said, they ain't pay me anything. I was like, oh, okay.
You should have got something.
You should have got $300. I mean, something, a cold beer. I mean, something.
You talked.
Yeah. You should have a Screen Actors Guild card by now. So. All right. That's going to do it for us. And we've had a great day today. Boomer, I think coming up next week. Yeah. I think it's the South Ark Outdoor Expo.
Outdoor Expo. I saw that.
Yeah.
And then the following week is Mike Ross.
I think we got a blank week. We have somebody who's scheduled for that week, but they have not. They've not totally confirmed yet.
Yeah, we're looking at the schedule board.
Yeah, we're looking past it over the schedule board. Yeah, they've not totally confirmed it yet. But we'll have someone.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be there. But we've had a great time today. We appreciate you, our viewers, and of course our sponsors. We appreciate them as well. Hey, don't forget to stop by Timberlane Meat Market and check out Miss Faye's great products here. Again, these spicy pickles aren't making it back. Emily, sorry. They're not going to make it back.
Put it on your bill.
Yeah, put it on my tab. I'll pay it off eventually. So, and again, thanks to Timberlane Meat Market for feeding the Boomer. Them beignets.
Yeah,
that was the real deal, man.
I'm gonna eat another before I leave.
Yeah, I am too. So, God bless you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
With a history of being the voices you trust, this is Off the Back Porch.